For the past few years, Ricky Gervais, Stephen Merchant, and Carl Pilkington have been meeting regularly for a series of pointless conversations. This is one of them.
Testing. Is that all right? Hello and welcome to the Ricky Gervais Show with me, Ricky Gervais, Stephen Merchant.
This is the worst chair I've ever sat on. And I've sat on some fucking chairs in my life.
Yeah! Are we started?
One.
Are we ready? Are we recorded?
Yeah.
Ready?
Right.
Hello and welcome to a brand new series. What?
It's ridiculous.
I was getting it all fired up.
Excited and motivated.
What are you talking about?
One. Just seems a bit loud, that.
Well, you should have sorted that out. Carl, are we ready now?
Yeah, I think so.
Well, come back here then, you dopey bald twat.
Hello? Yeah. I'll just sit like that.
Right, okay, ready?
So it was your problem.
Oh, Jesus.
Just this carpet.
Right, ready?
Yeah.
Hello, welcome to a brand new series of the Ricky Gervais Show with me, Ricky Gervais.
Hello.
Well, no.
Sorry. I was so excited to say hello.
Okay. Hello and welcome to a brand new series of the Ricky Gervais Show with me, Ricky Gervais, Stephen Merchant.
Hello.
And the little round-headed shaven chimp that is Carl Pilkington.
All right.
While I was at my parents' house, they often, they keep clippings of things, if we've been mentioned in the papers. I don't know if you've heard this, Carl. In the Sunday Times, someone's written a letter about Carl.
Wow.
They can send in comments and views on things they've seen, read, heard.
Oh, excellent.
And this is what someone wrote to the Sunday Times. Who is Carl Pilkington, and why have I just wasted 5 minutes of my life listening to some of his cretinous thoughts on Channel 4? He asked, why are there so many dinosaurs on display in museums? Quotes, couldn't they just choose the best one and just show that? He summed it all up by deciding that we know too much. Somebody clearly doesn't know enough to know that this is a complete waste of airtime, showing no wit, intellect or creativity. That's from Wendy in Berkshire.
You can't have your critics. You know what I mean?
You've got to have your critics.
Of course you have. If everybody liked what you did, then you're not doing the right thing.
But think how angry she must have been to have bothered writing this letter to the Sunday Times.
Well, that's good.
I mean,
though.
you
It's made her
really
do
must
some-
have...
It's all about getting people thinking. That's what I always say to you. As long as I'm getting people thinking about what I've said, she remembered what I said.
Yeah.
I'll tell you now, right? This, if I don't know if Wendy's, listened to this, but
Almost certainly not.
Well, listen, right? I was saying about the museums, right, and how they're big and everything, and they've
Brilliant.
got dinosaurs all over the shop. I read that in that museum, they've got something like 7 million bits of stuff in there. Right? Now, when I spend 2 hours in somewhere, just show me the good stuff. Don't be saying we've got 7 million bits. Because there was a fella who opened it, right? I did a bit of research on the museum.
What museum was it?
It was the London one.
Oh, the London one, yeah. Okay.
So he's in there and he's collecting all this, bits of stuff.
What stuff?
Just whatever's knocking about at that time.
right, okay.
It seemed like
You have researched it.
he never chucked anything away. He's like, I won't put it in the bin, pop it on a shelf.
Okay,
So
yeah.
he's put everything on a shelf
Oh,
in
right,
this
yeah.
museum. Then, as time
I
went
think you're
on-
going into too much detail, but just give us the gist of it.
No, but all I'm saying is, he keeps everything. And if you keep everything, sometimes it'll be good stuff, right? And a lot of the stuff was going missing, the good stuff. But people who set these museums up are just as crafty.
What?
The fella who found Tutankhamun, he was pocketing all sorts of fingers and stuff in his pockets on the way out. That had rings on them and stuff. So all I'm saying is, why is she having a go?
But
She's
hang on,
learned
wait,
something.
no, but we just gave you the chance then to defend yourself, and you just confirmed Wendy's point 1,000 times over. What was all this waffle about people nicking stuff? What's that got to do with anything?
Because she's having a go at me. I didn't nick
But she's
anything.
having a go at you for talking nonsense that's of no consequence, which is what you just did
What
then.
sort of nonsense?
But what was your point?
Oh, all right, then we'll watch Wendy's little programme when that goes out. Let's see what she's got to talk about. Sick of her. This is why Wendy's having a go, though, because you're not being open-minded. You're not thinking about...
But we're being open-minded to good ideas, to sensible thought, to intellectual considerations. We're not being open-minded to this utter drivel.
Yeah, but every invention is a bit... Who'd have thought the Frisbee would have caught on?
I love the fact that you think the Frisbee is the pinnacle of invention.
Yeah.
I think it's amazing.
No, it's an example of something that, you know, if he was on some programme where you said, I've invented this, he'd go, get out. They wouldn't give him time of day to say, right, I've made this thing, it's out of plastic, you throw it about. What for? Well, you just chuck it about on the beach. What's the point? It's a bit of fun, isn't it? No, I don't like it.
Okay, that was an argument with himself.
No, but do you know what I mean? It's a popular little thing, and I'm just saying it's easy to put ideas down.
But you've never even come up with an idea as good as the Frisbee, and that's saying something.
I came up with a clippable mat that goes on a cup, and it's a good little thing. I haven't followed it through yet.
A what?
A clippable mat.
What's a clippable mat? What does that
Clippable
involve?
mat that you stick on a cup, so you can put your cup down on a table without having to go, oh, where's that mat? It's clipped to the cup all the time, and you put the cup down wherever you want because it's got a mat on it.
I think I've seen that.
But why does it have
No,
to be
you
clipped to
No, I
it?
think
Why
I
couldn't it
have.
just be built into the cup?
Because
So it clips onto... You've got our special cups. It doesn't
Yeah.
clip onto every cup.
no, but just the same way that every sauce is different. You don't say, oh, I'm sick of this sauce. It doesn't fit a mug. You use the sauce of that. I mean, I don't use sauces. Just don't buy that sort
But
of
isn't a
furniture.
saucer what you're talking about?
Kind of, yeah, but it's clippable.
See, Carl, when he disses all these great inventions and design, he says you don't need them, it's just faffing, what he means is he's a little bit annoyed that no one's picked up on his ideas, like the clippable mat for the mug, or, I don't know, what's the one about the tie? The tie that had a pocket.
Loads of pockets. But I didn't come up with that. That's something I saw somewhere. It never caught on. I've never seen anyone wearing one yet. It's such a good...
It's not a good idea. It's
It
like
is a good
having a
idea.
carrier bag round your neck. It doesn't make any sense. It's a tie packed with stuff. You
Right,
want to...
imagine
All right,
this-
Frank, nice tie. What you got in there? Baguette. It's ridiculous.
But imagine the day that the tie was invented. There you go. Do you want a tie? What do you do with it? Put it around your neck. What for?
Well, I'll tell you.
What?
Because you haven't invented buttons yet, and it keeps your shirt together at the top.
Well, all right then. Right. We've invented buttons. Are we going to stop making these ties? No. Why?
He's got you there,
There you
Rick.
go. Now, I'm saying, what are you doing with that tie around your neck? Oh, it's a pocket tie. It's a what? Pocket tie. What do you mean? It's got pockets in it. Oh, that's weird. What
That's all right, I've got pockets in my jacket.
Yeah, no, but hang on a minute. It's a hot day, innit? Don't want to put your jacket on.
Or a tie. Ugh.
Well, if you're going to wear a jacket, wear a tie. Leave the
No, I'm
jacket
not
at
wearing
home.
a jacket. I'm wearing a shirt. Got a
Give
nice
it
little...
a purpose. If you're going to wear something, give it a purpose. Everything has a purpose. A tie at the moment is just round your neck, keeping you hot. If you're going to be hot, carry something. Hands free. And everything's always there. A bag, put stuff in a bag, you put a bag down, you forget it. I always forget bags, that's why I don't like carrying them. You pop it down, you get up, you walk off. Oh, where's the bag? A tie, when you go in a cafe or something for beans on toast, you don't take your tie off. I don't wear a tie. I would if it had pockets.
Carl!
The country would look smarter.
Right, you have pockets, so what are you carrying in this pocket?
I have got spare change,
Yeah, okay.
which...
You're rattling around like a cow in Switzerland, just like...
I've got spare change. I've got like my debit card in there.
Right,
Maybe got me little front door key in one of the pockets.
okay.
Pair of scissors if you want.
Amazing. That's safe, isn't it?
Oh, that's a good place to put it, just around the heart area.
Yeah, and then near the throat. Facing upwards. Brilliant. Carl, think what you're saying. So when you're on the beach and you just got your Speedos on, pop a tie on, go to the shop, pop a tie on.
Well, no, you wear it in the appropriate times. But I'm just saying, if you're going to wear a tie, let's make it useful. Let's give it a purpose.
Don't wear a tie, it's all right. You do not need a tie with pockets. If you're wearing a tie, you've got clothes with pockets.
And it's going to be weighing your neck down. Come
No,
on,
but don't go
practically.
mad. If you're carrying anything big, you buy the scarf version.
Carl said the most exciting words. He said, I've had another film idea.
Wow. Does it star Clive Warren? Sell it to me like I'm a Hollywood executive. Sell me the film.
So what I was thinking is, I'm picturing probably. It doesn't matter. It's not as fixed. It doesn't have to be this person. But I'm thinking Tom Cruise.
Okay, Cruisy, yeah.
Excellent.
And the way it works is.
Do you know Tom, by the way, or have you got an in there, or
No.
no?
Okay, but you
It's-
just no,
I think
blue
it's a
sky.
sort of film
that would
that
appeal to Tom.
he'd sort of be into. I think it would
Okay.
excite him.
Okay,
Great, okay.
Great.
So
have you ordered coffees? Did
What?
Did Cheryl get you a coffee?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, thanks, great.
So
Are you hungry at all? Do you want to...
no.
No? Great.
So
Cheryl, I might have a tea actually. Cheryl, if you could.
will we wait for the teas before she comes in?
She'll
'Cause
just
once
sneak
this is
in.
flowing-
She will be very quiet. She'll be like a dormouse. She won't even know she's coming.
Okay.
You just. You've got your coffee. I don't need a tea. You don't want anything.
No, I'm fine,
Okay.
thanks.
Go.
Actually, I will have a tea, actually, Cheryl.
2 tea, Cheryl.
Thanks. Okay, go.
Right.
Thanks, Cheryl.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Is there
Shut the
sugar?
door.
Sorry, is there sugar in this show?
There's sugar
'Cause
there.
that's-
There's-
oh,
I'll put it in there. Go, shut the door behind you. Thank you. Okay.
Go.
All the way. Go.
Tom Cruise. So I got Tom Cruise. That's what I've pictured so far.
He's just done Mission Impossible 7
Right.
in this film.
Oh, in the film.
So he's playing himself.
No, what you're seeing on the screen is Mission Impossible 7.
So if we get Cruise, he is playing himself,
Yeah.
and he's just made that.
and in this film, he's just made Mission Impossible 7. Is the future, is it? This.
No, what you're seeing...
Okay, what's this film called?
I haven't got a title yet.
We'll just call it Carl Pilkington Project 2.
Right.
Okay.
So
KP2.
you go in. The opening thing is Mission Impossible 7. You think that's serious?
I thought it was just KP2. I
Yeah,
couldn't
I'm
see
confused.
KP2.
Yeah.
Right, listen. So what happens is then it sort of pans out. You see it's a telly. There's a bloke watching Mission
Impossible
Impossible
7.
7. Right. His girlfriend's watching it going, oh, I love Tom Cruise.
Yeah.
He's there going, I can't be doing with him. He's
So it
overrated.
is set in the future, though, this? Because we're assuming that he's made 7, so this is a...
Yeah.
How far in the future is it?
Well, when will Mission Impossible 7 be made?
I don't know. Probably about 2 years, the way it's going.
Right, so, yeah, 2013.
Let's not get bogged down in a lot of these things we
Okay.
can iron out, as I say, in the script.
So you see Mission Impossible 7 on the
Cheryl, are any
screen.
of those biscuits still knocking around?
Do you want to do this meeting?
Yes, I do. Sorry, he's a bit easily distracted. But I will have a biscuit as well, Cheryl. Okay, I've been watching the film. It's Mission Impossible 7. It's pulled out. There's a guy in his room, in his lounge
His
with
girlfriend's
his girlfriend.
watching it. She's
Yes.
loving it. She's a fan
She
of
loves
Tom Cruise.
Right.
He's a little bit niggled. He wanted to watch something else.
Sure.
She decided on the DVD. He sat there annoyed. I can't be dealing with Tom Cruise. I can't believe they've made 7 of these films.
Right.
He's a rubbish actor. I should be the actor. You know, I've been doing acting for years.
But he's not an actor. He's
Well, he is.
Okay.
But he hasn't quite made it. He's sending a lot of demos off.
right.
Forget
So
that.
he's a struggling actor.
So what happens is, next day they get up, right?
Yeah.
She's still going on about Tom Cruise.
Loves him.
Thinks I'm sick of him. Right? She loves him.
Got my biscuits gone in my tea. I left it in there too long because he put me off.
stupid.
Just hang on, let me just
Bottom
think.
twat. Can I get the spoon, please? Can I have
Yeah,
my
sure.
biscuit?
Do you like
Oh, it's all
probably
gone
the
all
best.
soggy.
soggy?
Oh, that's soggy.
Cheryl, can we get some more of those biscuits in here, please?
Do you want to weigh more? Or?
Yeah, I'd love to
Yeah,
hear
no,
more,
I'd love to
please.
hear more,
Yeah,
yeah,
I'm just
yeah.
conscious
Can
that Colin Firth's coming in. He's won an Oscar, so
So, what happens is, he gets so annoyed with his girlfriend liking Tom Cruise. He plans to kill him. So he sees Tom Cruise. He kills him somehow. Now it's some way.
Right, how does he kill him?
Oh yeah,
Right,
that's right.
okay.
oh, hang on.
So
Right.
he dies in the film in Mission Impossible 7. They're doing
Right.
that thing on the strings.
Right.
It cuts. He lands.
Right.
His body is in perfect condition.
hold on.
But how is she watching the
The
film?
film, yeah. Did they put it out even after Tom Cruise
No,
died?
no, sorry. He was filming Mission Impossible 8.
So he's okay. So
He's filming the next one.
They filming the next one. Mission Impossible. Okay, sure.
He's annoyed. He's going, I can't believe they're making more of these films.
Right.
I can't get a gig, and yet
Yeah.
they're churning this crap out.
Yeah. Okay.
So he's on his springs,
On his wires, yeah.
on his wires.
Yeah.
An accident
Spring
happens.
sounds better. He's bouncing around.
like a baby growth.
The strings cut, smash. Tom Cruise dead.
Right.
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 The bloke hears this on the radio, on the news.
Yeah.
The girlfriend's fella hears it on the news. He can't believe it. He's like, yeah.
Oh.
Takes his eye off the road a little bit in the celebration. Truck ploughs into the car. Right?
So he's killed as well.
Well, is he?
Okay.
Okay.
Little interlude. Fades up. Comes out of. You're seeing it out of his eyes. You see his eyes sort of opening. You know when you're seeing out the eyes,
yeah,
you
yeah,
see the
yeah,
eyelids.
Yeah.
And you see his girlfriend there, sort of looking at him like a bit startled.
Sure.
And he's going, oh, what happened? And she's going, it's all right, it's all right. And he's going, oh, get me a mirror. She's going, I don't want to get you a mirror yet.
Okay.
Oh, hold on, what's going on?
You've had a bad accident.
What's he going to look
All
like?
mirrors out of the room and everything. He's just learning to walk. He's going, why can't I look in a mirror? And the doctor's going, no point.
Yeah.
Right,
No
okay.
point. You've got to get used to this body. Then he gets walking. It's
Yeah.
almost time to go home.
Yep.
His girlfriend comes in.
Yep.
It's her job to tell him the new news.
Oh
the
my God,
shocking
what's
news.
the news?
She says, there's a mirror, look in there. He looks in it. He's Tom Cruise.
Right.
Because he had his accident on the set. He had the accident. He ended up in the hospital.
Right.
Quick, we've got to act quick. This is the time. This is the future.
Right.
Where they use
Where they can use
bodies, all the rest of it.
So Tom Cruise is dead.
Tom Cruise dead. This
But
bloke
his
Brian.
his body's squashed, but what's his name? Brian?
Yeah.
But Brian's brain is in Tom Cruise's body. Just a donor body. He just happens to
Just
look...
happened to. That's how
Yeah,
it'll be.
it's just meat. It's
just
Tom-
like a lung donor,
Exactly.
a heart donor.
Yeah.
It's just
so is this
timing.
Brian? He just looks like Tom Cruise now. He's got Tom Cruise's flesh.
Yeah.
Basically, yeah.
Now, at first, initially, he's annoyed.
Sorry, just practically, who is doing the voiceover then for the?
It's Tom now.
So
He's
Tom's
acting.
sort of doing an impression of this actor.
Brian's inside Tom.
His
Yeah.
name is Brian, but when you look at it on the telly, when the camera wheezes round
Yeah.
and you see him sat in his bed, it's Tom Cruise.
Sure.
Right. Okay.
His girlfriend's over the moon because she loves Tom Cruise.
Right.
He's gutted because he couldn't stand him. He can't stand the films. He's thinking,
Yeah, but
"Oh."
he must be thinking, I look like Tom Cruise, one of the most loved actors of his generation.
No,
And he's
you'd
also a
think
good-looking
so,
bloke.
but he's not because he's in shock. Remember,
Right.
he was expecting to see himself, and when he looks in the mirror,
Yeah,
he's
no,
seeing
it must
someone
be
else.
shocking. Yeah.
So
Also the voices.
he's going, I can't stand this, and she's going, calm down, you'll get used to it. I don't want to get used to it. And she's sort of saying, look, you're alive.
Right.
Stop moaning.
Yeah.
Brian. Stop moaning, Brian. She's calling him Brian, I assume.
She says,
And
yeah,
Tom Cruise just had a sort of donor card that allowed his body to be given away, did it?
Yeah, it's the future.
Right.
This is 2013, Steve. Things have changed.
Clearly.
Right.
but
What's his girlfriend's name?
Claire.
Claire and Brian. Okay. Great. Just a different body, just a slightly different look.
All
Just
right,
like-
so
yeah, right.
he's seen that he looks like Tom Cruise. He's shocked, but he's getting used to it.
He doesn't look like him. He is him. When he leaves the hospital,
They go, all right, Tom, I thought you were
they're all
dead.
going, it's Tom. And he's going,
Really?
oh, yeah. And he's going, oh, I knew this would happen. It's doing me head in. So he wheels out. He's in a wheelchair.
Okay.
He's going, I'm sick of this. The other patients are going, Tom, I thought you were dead. And he's
Yeah.
going,
Right.
yeah. And he's annoyed. He gets in the car. He gets out there
Right.
and he sees a poster up on the side of the road
Right.
for Mission Impossible 8.
It's, hold on, though. It's finished. I thought he died while they were
It's
filming
not
it.
finished. But now, these days, he's shouting about films before they're made. And they're going
Wow.
brilliant and all the hype
But
and
they put
everything.
a poster up even after...
Seems premature.
No, the poster
Yeah.
was already up.
That
They
seems
haven't put it up.
premature, given that a
What,
man
coming-
died during the production.
Doesn't
Yeah.
matter.
I'd
No.
have taken the posters down.
No,
but
it's
then I
all-
don't work in Hollywood.
Right.
So the poster's up there and he sees it as he's in the car driving past.
Yeah.
And he thinks, that can't be finished.
Doesn't make sense.
They both look at each other. This is your chance. You wanted to be an actor. This is the chance.
Yeah.
Right.
Go back to the studio. So he goes in. Hello, you don't know me? And they go, oh, we think we do. And they go, no, you don't. I'm Brian. Tom
Right.
died on your film set.
Well, they must
Presume-
know that. They must know that
Tom
Tom
Cruise
Cruise is
died.
dead. Because his family must have been
All right,
notified.
if you want to, it makes no difference. We can tweak the script.
So this is... Brian has turned up looking like Tom Cruise. He said the film company, right, who must know that Tom Cruise died on their film set. What were they going to do? When
They would
got
have had to wrap it up. They would have
Well,
had
no,
to
what?
say...
You said they put the posters are up.
Yes, the posters are up before they've even finished
So they're
filming it.
cancelling the film until he walks in?
Basically, yeah.
Oh, so they are cancelling the film?
They're cancelling it.
Okay, so we're afraid that production has stopped on Mr. Impossible 8 due to the death of Tom Cruise.
Hang on
It's
a minute.
What?
I'm Brian.
Who's Brian? Oh my God, you look exactly like Tom Cruise. Oh, have they done that thing where they put Brian's brain in Tom Cruise's body?
Yeah.
Ah, but it's not Tom Cruise. You can't act like him.
I'm
You don't-
an actor.
Yeah, but he was good because he was like one of the best actors.
He's not that good. I never rated him.
Yeah, but a lot of people did. And he's
Yeah,
got
a lot of people didn't. So
Right.
let me bring in a new audience for you here. I
But
can bring
can
a
you-
bit to this.
Right.
So this, of course, gives it a boost because
Right.
The
People wanna
flagging
see- people
franchise
wanna
has
see how
been
good Brian is.
rejuvenated.
the
Yeah.
press, the news that's
Yeah.
out there,
Yeah.
Tom Cruise and his new film.
Well, it's not Tom Cruise. They can't say that.
Well, it is, though. When you look at him, you go, oh, it's Tom Cruise.
Well, no, you got to say a bloke that looks like Tom Cruise.
The body of Tom Cruise.
Yeah.
The acting of Gil Bryan. In a new movie.
Mission Impossible 8, starring the bones and skin and stuff of Tom Cruise with Brian's brain.
Oh, forget
Do
it.
you like Tom Cruise's face, but not his acting? Then you'll enjoy Mission Impossible 8.
I'm not bothered.
Oh, Mission Impossible 8. From the people who brought you the first 7, and the hair of the bloke who was in the first 7, but with Brian doing all the lines. It's Brian. It's some cunt I've never heard of on the 7th sequel.
No, wait, sorry, I really want to hear the ending of this movie. Please let me ask questions. You had your chance to ask him questions.
Right.
So where are we? In a sort of 90-minute running time of a movie, where are we now in the film? Are we about two-thirds the way through?
We're close to the end. I'd
Okay,
say.
so Mission Impossible 8 has been made. So what's the end of our movie? Not of Mission Impossible 8, but the movie you're making. What's the ending there?
Do we ever get to see him in Mission
I
Impossible
think,
8?
yeah, but I think what happens is he becomes the person who he never liked.
Right.
And it's I just want to get across the moral that who are we? Are we the people in our body or the people we look like? What's important in life? Is it the way you look or the way you think? And he changes because he looks like Tom Cruise. He becomes the man he never liked.
Oh, and what's his girlfriend think of this?
Who's?
Brian's.
She's loving it, isn't she? Because she always liked Tom Cruise. She's over
What
the
did
moon.
Brian look like? Who would play him in this film?
Probably. What's his name? The bloke who was in Cheers, probably.
Ted
Ted
Danson.
Danson.
Ted Danson.
So Ted Danson is Brian. So Claire, right.
This is so confusing because Ted Danson's supposed to be someone that we've never heard of, even though he's Ted Danson, and Tom Cruise is playing himself, the famous actor Tom Cruise, who is now inhabited by Ted Danson, who's not Ted Danson.
Ted Danson as Brian.
Ted Danson as Brian, as Tom Cruise, as Ethan Hunt in Mission Impossible 8.
Forget it.
Wow.
Who's played Claire?
Well, I'm up for you. You know, that's why I've come to you. I thought
There's
you'd
an
know.
obvious suggestion.
Okay, so-
Rebecca
okay.
De Mornay.
Okay, yeah.
She is so hot after the love of a brain or whatever it was called.
You wanna go where everybody knows your name is Brian.
For the past few years, Ricky Gervais, Stephen Merchant, and Carl Pilkington have been meeting regularly for a series of pointless conversations. This is one of them.
Testing. Is that all right? Hello and welcome to the Ricky Gervais Show with me, Ricky Gervais, Stephen Merchant. Hello. And the little round-headed buffoon that is Carl Pilkington.
All right.
It's come to our attention that the Allied forces, all around the world, in active service, fighting for their country, even though they're in danger, and they're missing their loved ones, they all have one thing in common. The love of one man, the respect of one fellow soldier. He's a civilian, but he's one of them. He is, to some, just a little bald-headed fool. Carl Pilkington. Carl, what do you think? What do you think of this? It's an honour, isn't it, to do this?
Yeah, it's all right, yeah.
Brilliant.
Okay, there's people out there, Carl, they're fighting in Afghanistan, Iraq, all over the globe.
They're in a dark building. They're not breaking radio silence.
Morale, often low. There's one man they can turn to cheer them up.
Come on, they want some words of encouragement, some words of wisdom. Something to keep them going. A message to the troops. Come on.
Go, Carl. What is it?
You're like their Winston Churchill.
I don't know what to say to him, really.
Do you know any soldiers?
Well, yeah, my brother was one, wasn't
Yeah, but he got kicked out.
Why did your brother get kicked out of the army?
he? Well, there's a few things. I think you get a few chances. I think the final straw was nipping out for some fags in a tank.
Just think of that. Just think of that. Amazing.
And it's,
Just see that, just a little corner shop, just like things shaking, dumping off the shelves, and they're going, what is this? What is going on? 20 Rothmans, please.
yeah, there was loads of things. It was that. What else did he do? I think the sergeant wasn't happy that my mum wrote the sergeant a letter trying to get my brother out of going to Northern Ireland.
What did she say? I love this.
What did she say?
Wow.
She wrote a letter. Like, trying to get him out of PE.
Yeah, I know, yeah.
It was all
Let's
like...
not
He's had a
forget-
chesty cough.
Let's not forget, your mum is a person who put Tipp-Ex on a spider so your dad couldn't kill it, so she knew it was the right
so it didn't
spider.
get backed
In
up.
case your dad killed a real spider, then thought, I better replace it. I mean,
No, it wasn't just that. It was Tipp-Ex, so that when my dad was vacking up, or my mum was vacking up, it stood out. It wasn't like branding a sheep.
Right.
It was there, so it stood out, because they used to have, like, what's the name? Laminate flooring.
Right.
And my dad changed it to darker carpet. So
Right.
all of a sudden, you couldn't see it anymore.
I've never heard anything like this.
I don't remember this story. She
no.
had a pet spider? What do you mean? It was just a spider.
Yeah, she kept a spider. They had a spider, but then it became a pet because it was there all the time, as opposed to just getting rid of it straight away. Like, you know, because you didn't clear it away
it's
straight
a
away,
house.
suddenly it's a pet. It's
Yeah, it's a house spider, because they live in houses. You make them welcome to get rid of other little bugs and termites and stuff. My brother's left home, I've left home, my sister's gone. It's something for my mum, innit? She's got a budgie. There's only so much you can do with that. It's not as free, is it, as a spider?
right.
So she just looks after that one. They
Oh,
lived
I'm
for about
so
8
lonely.
years.
I'm bored of a budgie. Get yourself a spider.
Anyway,
They live in holes.
that's a different thing altogether. She just wrote to the sergeant and said, just sort of, you know, look, I didn't want him to join the army. It was his dad. He didn't get a job. His dad told him, if you don't get a job, you're going to join the army. He ended up joining. He's joined at a bad time. He hasn't had enough practice at this yet. Can you just let him
Surely
off?
that's for them. Surely that's for them to decide. Yeah, she's on there going, he can't shoot for Tom.
He was all right about it. The only thing that really annoyed him is my mum started off the letter by saying, hello, Chuck.
Not appropriate.
And he called back, though. He did call her and said, look, you know, I don't appreciate it being called Chuck and stuff, but I got you note. You know, a lot of mothers are in the same boat.
Sorry, he actually mentioned don't call me Chuck.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, he brought it up. Because it's all about respect, isn't it? And,
Well, she's a civilian.
yeah, but I suppose it's respect still. He's putting his life on the line. Someone's saying, you know, all right, Chuck.
So he phoned back and he said, presumably... Well, I mean, if I was him, I would have... Not only would I have sent him to Northern Ireland instantly,
Yeah.
I'd have put him in the most dangerous spot.
Yeah.
I mean, as punishment. To get your mum to write a letter...
No. He didn't ask my mum to do it. She did it off her own back.
He was probably horrified, wasn't he?
Oh, wow.
that, but imagine that. The sergeant major go, attention, got a little letter here. Let me read it to you. Hello, Chuck. Just reads it out. And he goes, Pilkington, come here, you horrible little man. Imagine him reading out in front of the troops.
I remember sort of looking up to him thinking, oh, he's in the army, I want to do that. He used to come home quite a lot, but he used to do me dad's head in because he'd turn up with like a wagon with like a load of his mates in it, just turning up on sort of, we didn't have any notice. Just turn up and he'd bring them all in. Come on, he'd be drinking my dad's whiskey, it'd kick off, my dad saying, get out.
Mind the spider.
And,
Don't tread on the spider.
yeah, he used to just turn up with like half of F Troop and he'd just take over the house. And my dad used to be on night, so he'd hear all this going on, come down and go, what's going on, get out. He's going, oh, we've come out, get out. So it'd sort of kick off a bit, I'd see him for a few minutes and then he'd drive off again on the truck.
Not a model soldier then?
Well, what's a model soldier? I don't know. I mean, I always thought it was good. When I was younger and, he joined, I was like, oh, I'm going to do that when I get older. And my dad always said, you won't be able to cut it. He said, you can't do it.
Oh.
And I said, no, I can. Look how good. Because I used to make my bed really neat.
Right. So it was mainly housework you were good at.
Yeah, you're probably better off as a mum.
No. It was like, because it has to be immaculate, doesn't it? They look for no creases and that. And I was a bit paranoid with my bed. Just with the duvet and that. I used to...
Duvet? Do they have duvets?
Well, I don't know, but just making the bed pride in appearance of the bedroom.
Yeah, it's all about discipline.
Once
I
I made it, no one could sit on it. I used to get all stressed out and feel sick if someone came in and sat on my bed after I'd made it. So don't be coming in. And it was annoying because that's where the CB was. So everyone used to come in to have a go on the CB and sit on my bed. They'd be going, don't sit on my bed. Made it.
Right.
Why do you used to feel sick?
It was a bit of a thing. I just didn't
OCD,
like it.
a little bit of...
It's like I've gone to the trouble of making it. Why have you just come in and sat on it? I wouldn't have made it.
Yeah, but hold on though. You do that in the army. Sergeant Major comes in and goes, Pilkington. And he does it for a laugh. He turns over your bed, he pulls out your locker, he gobs on your shoes, right? He goes, start again, you cunt. What are you going to do? Going to be sick? No, you're going to go, yes, Sergeant Major, I'm going to start again.
No, I'd say, why did you do that? I'm missing home as it is. I'm stressed out. I'm just trying to make me surroundings as nice as possible.
Teddy's on the floor.
You keep coming in and messing with it. Can you not do that?
Who are you talking to, you little bald cunt?
Maybe my dad's right then, because he said my dad sort of said the bed making's all right. He said, but you're not that good with laces.
Wow, did you have to tie your laces?
Well, I just never been that good. I can tie them, but they never sort of stay tied for a long time.
I have never seen him tie his laces. I've realised that.
No.
He always comes in. Does Suzanne do them for you?
Is he a little mank, one of those little mank trainers where they're all tucked in, where you don't see the laces?
I tend to just get a good knot on them and then just leave them and kick them off, and then they're tied permanent.
So you've got slip-on, laced-up shoes, basically?
Yeah. I don't like
But
laces.
they can't be
I don't
tight
understand
enough.
why laces are good anyway when you're in the army, especially with boots. You have boots with like about 60 holes in them. If you're in a rush, if you're in bed, you get out of the bed, you make the bed, the sergeant comes in, rips it apart again, he's going, there's a war, and you're going, stop messing with the bed. And then I'm there trying to put my boots on, you got 60 laces. I don't understand why Velcro hasn't been used. Velcro is ideal for a war situation. You're in bed, woo, siren goes off, you jump out. Why do you want boots with loads of laces?
Well, that's a thought for the...
If there's any top brass listening. How would you cope, Carl, in a war situation? Ignore the mechanics of being a soldier. I'm talking about the fear. I mean, these men and women are brave beyond compare. Constantly under duress.
I was told he had good pain threshold.
By whom?
A woman at that face rub place I went to.
Right.
She, because they ask you when you go in. She said, what's your pain threshold like? I said, I don't know. Try and avoid it. She was going, yeah, but, would you say you're very, very good, medium, or bad?
I can't imagine you getting hurt much because there's the signals to the brain. You've got, it's dulled, isn't it, with you? So you don't really...
Yeah, but then Suzanne always moans at me when I'm going, oh, God, my wisdom teeth is aching. She's going, oh, shut up.
She's saying, you haven't got any wisdom teeth, you dopey cunt.
No, she just always goes, I had it, and I didn't make a fuss, but it's one of them things that you can't get through to people pain, isn't it?
Yeah.
And they don't know what your pain threshold is. So, like I say, I've got brilliant pain threshold. I'm saying my tooth's hurting. She's saying, oh, shut up. But she doesn't know. I think I've talked about it before about giving someone the pain that you've got. So you go, there, have a feel of that. I'm in agony here.
Yeah, but you've made it up that you've got a high pain threshold. This isn't... This is not scientifically
the woman told me. The woman told me.
Well, does she know?
Because I haven't got to it yet. When I had the face rub, she was sticking electric into my head. And she was going...
What sort of place is this? This wasn't a spa.
No, it was. It's what they do
Jesus
now.
Christ.
What, she, I don't know, so she just plugged something into the mains?
She plugged something in and rolled
Did
it
she
over.
have an assistant called Igor? Was it in a castle in
She
Bavaria?
plugged this thing in, rolled it over my head, and said, "Is that hurting?" I was going, "No." And she went, "Oh, right." And she said, and then by the end of it, she said, "Look at that, I had that on full." I said, "What is it?" She said, "It's an electric current that does something." I was going, "Really?"
That does something. She's a scientist.
And yeah,
Maniac.
she said, "No, when you fill out that form, just put you're really good at pain threshold."
But you're really good at pain. You're going to come again? Well, yeah, 50 quid. Let's try it on your testicles next time.
So, you know.
Sorry, how was this? What was this supposed to be achieving?
It was like his face rub.
You've gone in for a facial and she's testing out what your pain
Well, that's
threshold
what I
is?
said. I said, "Hang on a minute, what do you mean? It's meant to be relaxing, this.
Yeah.
You can only have whale noises happening.
Yeah.
And now it's going to be me screaming." She said, no, it's just, we have to ask, we have to make sure, because there is a bit of pain.
Well,
heat
yeah.
is heat into these hot cloths. Bit of a rub.
Bit of thumb screws. Let's get the thumb screws out now.
And plus all that kidney stone pain that
Yeah,
I
but
had.
you just were in agony when you had the kidney stones. I don't remember you having this triumphant pain threshold. You gave up instantly.
Whinged and
Yeah,
whinged.
because you have to get seen. If I go in there and I'm going, "I'm in agony," and they're going, "You don't look like you're in agony," I'd be at the back of the queue. So you have to go in and go, "Oh, yeah." And they're going, "Quick, get him in." So pain threshold is good for yourself, but it's not good for other people.
So you were bullshitting? You didn't feel pain at all?
I was in agony, but I can hold it off. I can sit there and be quiet and have a sweat on. But if you do that in a hospital waiting room, it'll be the little div who's coming with a pan on his head, who's screaming saying his head's throbbing. That's what I'm saying. So to get seen, you have to put it on. It's like a baby crying. There's nothing wrong with it. What's he crying for? He's probably hungry. Well, I'm hungry. I'm not crying. But that's what they use, isn't it, to get attention.
So you're braver than a baby, is what you're saying. You're braver than a baby. That's all we've established here.
In some cases, not in
When
others.
you fill out the form,
Not in others. Sometimes babies are braver. When are babies braver?
You can chuck them in a pool and they don't panic. I'm rubbish.
Sorry, will you leave my baby alone? No, I'm doing an experiment. Mr. Pilkington, will you stop throwing children in the pool?
No, babies.
You're barred from this swimming pool from now on.
I mean babies. It's the same way you can chuck one out of a window and it can land and it won't break its back. 'cause it's
No, that's not true.
Do not do that.
Not do that.
If
That
you
is
are a
not
maniac
true. You
listening
cannot
to this-
throw a baby out of a window.
It's just what I've
Where did you
heard.
hear that? You're thinking of a cat. And don't throw cats out. Don't throw any living thing out of a...
just what I've
Where did
heard.
You can't throw a baby out of the window and it won't break its back. What are you talking
No,
about?
it's just there's a certain height. It's all about us tensing up. We tense up, don't we? It's like how once someone who fell out of a plane, they passed out, and because they passed out when they landed, they were relaxed. They
No.
woke up, they were like, "Oh yeah, what happened then?"
Someone fell out of a plane. That's bollocks.
It's not, honestly.
How far was the plane?
Oh, high up. It's a plane, isn't it?
Well, what's the lowest height that a plane could be at?
Even if it was at 30 feet, that's a height, isn't it, to fall without...
Yeah, well, exactly. But if it was higher...
Was the plane just on the runway?
No, it was iron up. It was high up enough.
Is this where you went for the holiday? We're going to High Up Enough. Fuck me. Can't even talk.
So, yeah, pain threshold, I'm very good at it.
So, would you say you've ever been brave? Because I was thinking, before we did this, I can't think of a time when I've ever been brave. I don't think I've been cowardly. I've just never been in a situation where I needed to be brave, particularly. I've always managed to avoid fights, conflicts.
Yeah.
See, when I was in Salford, I'd nipped to Greggs to get a pasty. I heard some bells going off. I came out, just thought, I don't know what that is. Went over to the car, sort of thinking, I can't wait to have this pasty when I get home. Cup of tea, nice cup of tea, maybe a bit of bread.
I love the fact that his head was just filled with food because he was buying food and thinking food. When he's eating, I'm thinking I'm eating food. Just one big globular mess of food cells in his head for the duration of the food experience.
I can remember that food thought going on now, and it was probably like 15 years ago. But I remember how happy I was. I'm out at the Greggs, I've got what I want, I'm on my way home, this pie's hot, it's going to be hot when I get home, it's going to be a nice cup of tea, bread.
These are the things you save, and yet you forget really important facts.
Yeah, he doesn't know why wars are happening, but he does remember this.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
listen, this is why I remember it. Like I said, you forgot the bit that I said. A bell going off. I don't know what's going on. I'm walking over the road, put the key in the car, I turn round, bloke comes running out the post office, obviously the bell's gone off, he's got a big shotgun, balaclava on, and he stops and looks at me. He's there with a big gun in his hand, and he's looking at me. And I wasn't scared. I just was thinking, does he want me pie? I remember thinking, if he said, I want that, I'd have to give it up.
So a man with a gun.
I told Suzanne, she said, no, he was probably thinking about nicking your car. He's got
What,
your
he
key.
didn't have a car ready? He came,
No,
he
he
had the
legged it.
balaclava, the gun, and goes, fuck me, I forgot the car.
In the end, he sort of ran off down the back alley.
I love the fact that he looked over at you for a split second and you thought he might be interested in your
Was
pie.
there other people around? Were you sure this happened and you weren't reading a comic book?
No, it happened.
And so he looked you in the face. He saw
through
you.
his balaclava, he made eye contact. I looked at him. Everything sort of stopped for a minute. And then he just sort of legged it off down the back alley.
And what did you say to the police when you obviously were?
I didn't. I just went.
Well, you were a witness to the crime.
Have me pie. Like I said, it was warm. It's not going to stay warm forever, is it?
But when it was on Crime Watch a few weeks later,
No, it wasn't. That's what was weird. I said to Suzanne, "Oh, let's watch like Ground Reports tonight. See if I'm on the telly or anything." Nothing. Didn't even get reported.
Why would you be on the telly if you just ran
Just
away?
didn't say CCTV or something like that. If I was involved in it, they went, "This happened today in Salford outside Greg's. Are you this man with the pie?" I wanted to make sure I was well out of this one. Because Suzanne sort of said, "Oh, should you get involved?" But you shouldn't get involved because then I'm at risk, aren't I? Nobody
Well,
was
there you
killed.
are. We're back to bravery again, aren't
Yeah.
Yeah, it is bravery.
Go on then.
Next door but one, there's a fella there. He likes a drink. He came home late one night, banging on the door. Obviously forgot his key. He was trying to kick the door in. I looked out the window and he was out thinking someone's breaking in. Right? I see it's in. I saw all the curtains twitching. He just went back to bed. Now I kept an eye on him. He kicked so hard, he fell back, dropped his curry, landed in the road.
Dropped his curry.
Right.
Oh God! Why didn't he get a pie from Greg's? Because that lands and it's still fine.
So, anyway, he passes out.
Right.
Curry all over the shop,
Yeah.
head in the road. Cars come down that road,
Yeah.
sometimes pretty fast.
Yeah,
It's
of
night time. You could
Yeah.
get his head squashed.
Yeah.
Like I said, curtains are still a twitching, no one's a helping. I go out there and I go, "You all right? You all right?" And he's totally off his head. He's obviously had a right skinful. He's going, "Oh, where am I? Where am I?" I'm going, "You're outside your house, but you've got to get off the road because you're going to get squashed." So he's like, "Oh," and he could hardly move. So I sort of picked him up, sat him on the pavement, sort of picked up the curry and stuff. Suzanne came out. "What's going on?" I said, "Oh, look at him. He's in right state." Anyway, he's sort of coming round a little bit. In the end, I said, "Where's your keys?" Got him in his house. Job done.
But that's not bravery.
not
There was
bravery.
no
There's
threat
no-
to
there's
you.
no-
It's just put yourself out of it for 2 minutes.
It is bravery because he's out of his head. He could have thought I was attacking him. He could have swung at me. Now, the good
He's
thing
lying in the road, unconscious, covered in curry. This is not a threat.
is, it is a threat. I'm out on the street late at night. Someone could have come round the corner and thought I was mugging him.
And
then
what
they
they do?
attacked me.
Why would they attack you? They take
Because they
back
think,
with
what are you doing? People don't ask questions because you're not allowed to. Like with the sergeant, they chip in straight away. "I know what's going on here." No, you don't. You don't know the full story. He's pissed up and his curry all over it. It isn't blood. It's masala. You hear about this all the time, misunderstandings. Now, I helped him. The day after, he remembers, he comes round and he gave me some mincemeat that he had left over.
I love this. Where do you live? This is amazing. Oh my God.
So the thing is, it goes to show that I put myself out, he appreciated it, he said, "You're right, you know, the way cars come round here, I'd had a bit of a week, you know, I'd had a lot to drink, good on you." Then no one else chipped in. Now, it is bravery, kind of, because no one else went out there and helped. You didn't even know about that. It's only because you just asked. It was ages ago. I don't shout about it. I don't want an award. Have a go hero. I don't want any of that. I just did my
There's
bit.
no have-a-go hero about it.
Did you take the mincemeat?
Yeah, I did, yeah. It was good stuff.
Yeah. That's better than a ward in a way, isn't it?
And I told him that. So, it depends. I think there's different ways.
Bag of mincemeat. I love that.
I was saved by a bald man. Slaughter my finest pig, mince the meat, and send it to him.
What about phrases from the war days? What about things like careless talk costs lives? What do you make of that?
Careless talk. I suppose just busy chatting in a trench rather than going out there.
No, it doesn't. It doesn't mean that.
Have another go. Careless talk costs lives. They used to have posters up all over London and other cities.
Careless talk
Costs lives.
There was another one, there's another saying that means the same that might give you a clue. The walls have ears.
Yeah, but that just means don't be slagging someone off, because someone will hear it, pass it on, and then they'll end up fighting their own instead of who they should be fighting.
Well, no, you're almost there, but think about what you mean.
It's not about gossip, it's not about...
Well, in a way it is, but
it's
it's
about
very specific gossip.
Much more important tittle-tattle.
Careless whispers.
No, that's George Michael.
Say again, what's the first one again?
Careless talk costs lives.
I don't know, I imagine it being like a...
Don't go shooting your mouth off about things you know about the war effort, because there might be a German spy in the pub, disguised as a barmaid. Oh, you're lovely, Tracy's going, yeah, I'm Carl. What do you know about the war?
That's true, that does happen. I remember my brother being in the army, he had the same thing. He was told not to, because he liked the women and that, and he was told, listen...
One of them might be a German spy?
Yeah. Said, don't be going out with German women, because they're quite muscly. And
could be a man.
There'll be a gang of them. No, and they'll do you in.
Sorry, your brother was told, don't go out with a gang of German women because they're quite muscly and they might do you in.
Yeah, because it's all part of the thing. They sort of go out, like you say, pretending they're just like women out on the night, because he was in Germany for a bit. He was posted over there.
Right.
And apparently they target like British soldiers and that. And like I say, he liked his women. He'd just go along with it, thinking this is good. You know, Actung baby or whatever.
That's okay, and you too.
Hey, action, baby.
Yeah. Actung baby.
Yeah.
And then, you know, got him in a headlock and good night Vienna.
Good night, Vienna.
Why are these random German women just killing British blokes? What's the reason for this?
It was a proper thing. I remember him telling me mum, saying, oh God, I had a right dilemma. I met some women, German, couldn't go with them though because we were told that there might be, might be trouble. Really, yeah. Honestly, that's a fact.
British soldiers were getting beaten up by German women. This is not true.
Can't be.
Why? If you're caught off guard, you're just thinking, out with the ladies, and then they suddenly turn on you. It's a shock. It's a surprise element.
Why are they beating him up? You're presumably talking about the Cold War.
Because he's a soldier.
Yeah, but they were allies then.
Well,
when your brother was stationed in Germany, it wasn't occupied Germany. We hadn't invaded. It wasn't the German resistance. They were stationed there because...
For the past few years, Ricky Gervais, Stephen Merchant, and Carl Pilkington have been meeting regularly for a series of pointless conversations. This is one of them.
testing.
Is that all right? Hello and welcome to the Ricky Gervais Show with me, Ricky Gervais, Stephen Merchant.
Hello.
And...
Was in there.
Slugs. So, then there's you have to put a case forward, and me and Steve decide whether slugs go in or whether they stay out, whether they've got a purpose.
It's just because I'm having a problem with slugs at the moment. There's a lot of slugs coming in the house.
Why?
Don't know. They can get where like water can't. You know what I mean? Because they're boneless, aren't they? So any little gap.
So is water boneless? There's not many bones in water.
No, that's what I said.
Why banish them all to room 102, slugs? Because they're harmless, aren't they?
All I know is they're clogging up my piping. I had to go out and buy a plunger. I hadn't seen them since like comics when I was a kid. And I suddenly thought I need one of them things that I always saw in comics. I never thought I'd need one of them in my life. I've got slugs in my pipes. So I went out, £3 it was. I had no idea what the going rate is for a plunger. Gave it a bit of a plunge. And I think it was slugs. Like, all like bits of black stuff came up. I think it was slugs in there, like broken up slugs.
Well, hang on. It could just be black gunk, couldn't it?
No, it looked very sluggish. Because remember, I've had a problem with them anyway. I'll go to the toilet or whatever, look round, there's a slug climbing up the wall out of the shower basin thing.
Are you sure it's a slug?
Yeah, definitely slugs. I have to keep chucking them out because I don't like killing anything.
No.
I didn't want to kill the slugs with slug pellets. I bought some copper ribbon.
Right, they don't like going over that,
They don't
do they?
like that.
They get a little
shock
charge,
effect.
yeah.
But now that should be a warning. But instead, they're diverting. They've done a diversion. They've gone up the wall and across. Now it's like, that's a warning. That's like having a no trespassing sign.
Yeah.
And they're just going, bollocks to that. And they're getting in. And it's annoying me. And now you get to a point when you do say, well, if they carry on like this, I'll have to kill them because they're not... How much...
They're not playing by the rules.
I don't know what they're doing. I don't know what the purpose is. You just sit there still. I don't see him doing anything. I was looking at one close up.
But what do you want to
it had
do?
another
Be
life on it.
reading Rousseau. What do you want a slug to do?
In the same way you see a bee collecting pollen, good, it's doing its little work.
But they're-
Ants carrying big leaves or whatever. But
they're-
slug's just sat in the
They're
middle
all
of the
doing the
kitchen.
same thing. They're all doing the same thing. That slug is out. It's eating. It's finding
there's no
food.
food. There's no food in our kitchen for a slug, believe me. There's not enough there for me sometimes. But never mind a slug. There's nothing for it. Definitely not in the shower. What's it doing? So I told you ages ago about how they cause more problems than good. They eat cabbage
Right.
when they shouldn't be. They get in letterboxes and nick stamps.
They don't nick stamps.
They eat the stamps. They like the glue on it.
Right.
Right.
Is this a big problem, though? Is there an epidemic of slugs eating stamps?
But I think it is, and that's why they're so slow. I think they're sweating glue.
And it's slowing them
They're
down.
eating all them, and that's why they're sticking to stuff. Have you ever picked up a slug? Well sticky. They give off this glue. It's like all the glue they've eaten off stamps. They panic, and when they sweat glue.
Sweat! Think of a slug! What do you mean they sweat glue? You're making up nature.
It makes sense.
It's just a nonsense theory.
It's just what I've noticed on them.
Right, Rick, do you allow slugs in room 102?
Well, I think we should, if they're going to be gone forever, then we should put a case forward. They're amazing creatures.
What do they do for the world?
They're food.
It's not good enough, that. It's not good enough.
What do you mean? That's the ultimate sacrifice. Surely them being food.
Just having problems with them at the moment. I've spent £3 on a plunger, and I don't like the idea that every time I get up in the night to go into the toilet or whatever, I've got to put the light on because I might have a bit of sluggage between my toes.
Sluggish, a little bit of sluggish between my toes.
Right, okay, so we need to move on. So you are not putting them in?
I'm not putting slugs in.
All right, slugs have not gone in, Carl, I'm afraid.
What's your next one?
Okay, number 2.
People who don't want to do what the brains would be better at doing.
Right, okay, no, I'll get around that sentence. Now, tell me again.
Brains that don't want to do what their owners are good at.
Ah, so now it's the brain's fault.
Can you just expand on that point, please, KP?
Do you know, like, people decide what they want to do,
Right.
don't they, for a living? Mm-hmm. But sometimes they're not good enough.
Right.
You mean they have a dream and they can't fulfil it because they haven't got the skill or...
Yeah, but that doesn't mean they're not good for anything.
No.
It's just that they haven't unlocked the thing that they're good at. They want to go
Well,
at
of course. But I mean, there's much bigger issues there that the poor working class people don't get the same opportunities. When you're worrying about whether you're going to live through the next few days, you don't start thinking, I wonder if I can play the cello.
Can I refer you back, though, Rick? You've made an interesting point there, but I fear that's not exactly what Carl was saying. I don't think that his point was quite that profound.
Yeah, that's kind of what I meant.
Yeah, I don't know. There was something to do with the brain not allowing its owner.
Yeah, because that's the bit that annoys me. Fair enough if a brain hasn't decided what it wants to do, because you
What is this?
Let him finish.
God, this
'Cause it
thing
hasn't-
about
Let him
the
finish.
brain.
Shut up.
because it hasn't found its destiny type thing.
The brain hasn't
But
found its destiny.
when someone is good at something and they know the brain is good at something, but then they don't want to do it and they want to go off and do something else. Now they say in this country the problem is we haven't got enough tradesmen.
Right.
We don't have enough plumbers.
Right.
There's enough plumbers' brains.
I don't know what the fuck that means.
Shut up. Let
What
him
are you
please,
talking
shut
about?
up. Let him please finish.
Because
This is like beds and pillows again.
brains have not changed over the years. The brain is exactly the same. But it's the owner of the brain that's in charge. The brain could be going, I want to go for a walk. But if your body's too lazy to get up and go and see the stuff, the brain isn't going to get what it wants.
It doesn't make sense, Carl.
All right,
You
imagine
are your
this.
brain.
All right, let's go to the extreme. People with no legs who want to be swimmers. Don't be stupid.
Oh, God! Oh, God!
I'm so annoyed. Is this a big problem?
It's madness, isn't it? It's mad that the brain wants to do that so much. The brain's in the wrong body almost. Yeah, are you with me?
No.
A plumber who can plumb is annoying when he jacks it in as a living because there's other brains who can't do plumbing. They don't get their head round it.
This means I don't know what you're putting in room 102 because you're saying these. It's like this brain's wandering around looking for a
brain?
body, and it goes, "Oh, I'll choose that body." Hang on, this body doesn't even want to do some plumbing.
It's a matter of taste. It's just a
sometimes
matter of taste.
I'm not putting the brain in. It's just people. If I had a really good skill, I'd hope that I'd use it.
So people who don't fulfil their own potential. Is that a better point?
Yeah, that's what I meant.
Who am I talking to now, Carl or his brain?
We're both listening.
Well, I will put in people who don't fulfil their full potential. Slugs are safe. What's your next thing to try and get in room 102?
It's a tricky one, this.
Go on.
It's people who think that humans are special. Do you know what I
But
mean?
you think that.
No, I don't. I don't think humans are special. I think
what-
some of us are. Look at it like this. You see, we think we're important because we just do. Well, I don't, but some do. And they're the ones I want to get rid of.
Another argument with himself.
Now, we think we're special. There might be something else going on that's more important. We're in this universe, aren't we?
Yeah.
They're trying to make a new universe.
What do you mean?
There's a machine somewhere.
What?
A big bang. They're making a big bang again.
Right. Well, you've got that completely wrong. But sure, they're not trying to create a new world. They're trying to recreate the conditions that happened at the beginning of the Big Bang.
All right, but the
It's
world
completely
came.
different.
But the world came from the Big Bang.
They're trying to recreate the conditions so they can test and they can experiment to see
Dangerous.
the conditions before.
So
That
why
is
are they
true.
doing that? Who's allowed that? This is what annoys me. It's because humans think they're special. Oh, who made the Big Bang? Oh, I'd like my name on that. I want to claim it. Why do people always want to better someone else? It's happened. Let them have it.
Okay, right, okay, Carl. You're in charge of the world now. You are this. You're all powerful. You're like a god, okay? You can do anything. You call all the scientists, and they go, "What do you want of us?" Oh, orange-headed one. What the fuck do you want of us? Right? What do you want them to do? Go. What do you say?
Well, I want to come in and... How long have they been working on the Big Bang idea?
Forget it. You've got every scientist.
No, but I don't
world-
just want to come in and poo-poo that, because they're going to...
Poo-poo.
They've done a lot of research
Well,
on
hold
it.
on. You wanted to stop a minute ago.
Yeah, I know, but you don't just come in, guns are blazing. I'd say, hello,
You can do
everyone.
anything you want. Oh, go on, then.
Hello, everyone.
Hello, Carl, leader.
Right, listen, this Big Bang thing you've been doing.
Yeah, well, that's just only a few of us. That's like less than 1,000,000% of us. We're all here.
Yeah.
I've dropped AIDS research. I've dropped cancer research.
Right, well, why have you dropped that?
I'm
Who's
working
told
on
you
it.
to do that?
Well, no, we knocked off. They said you wanted to tell us something. We're all here. Every scientist in the world
Well,
is
listen,
here.
what research are you doing?
Oh, well, I'm looking at what happens if you give Feminax to an owl.
What happens?
Well, I'm halfway through it. I got called away.
Look, I'm really busy. What do you want me to work on?
Who said they're doing cancer? Go back. Go back to work.
Cheers.
Right.
Okay, the rest of us doing stuff that you think we're fanning around with. What would you want us to
Listen,
do?
well, I can't do it all
What about
today.
me? I was doing AIDS.
Hang on a minute.
I was doing AIDS.
You just wait a minute.
Right, okay, why does cancer get to go back? Are you saying that cancer's a bigger problem than AIDS?
You go back to work.
So AIDS go back. I'm doing restless legs.
Right, can
syndrome.
everybody but the Big Bang people leave? Tell you another problem that I've worked out. It might make a slight difference on fat people. Don't put a light in a fridge. Because that's just at night when they get peckish. They can see everything that's in there. Don't put the light there. You don't need a light in a fridge. There's no lights in other cupboards. Yet where there's food, it's like fatties getting up at 4 in the morning. What can it have? What's that at the back? Get rid of the light, they'd eat less.
There might be some logic in that.
That's interesting.
Well, what's it there for? Tell me what that light is there for. They say turn off your standby light, yet you've got a light in your fridge.
Well, no, it is
showing
turned
you
off.
where tomatoes
You
is.
know,
or
but it's turned off
chocolate.
when you shut the light's not on when the door's not open.
Yes, but a fat person who's always got the fridge door open.
So what are you saying, in a way, is that the free market, capitalism being what it is, which has allowed companies, food manufacturers to make them more full of more salt, more fat, in order to attract you, in order to make more profits, is actually resulting in obesity?
I was in a cafe, right? I normally like to go in there, and I might have beans on toast,
Cheese on
cup
top.
of tea. I might have a bit of cheese.
Yeah, cheddar on top.
Only if they offer. I sometimes sort of think I shouldn't have it, so I'll only have it if they say, "Do you want cheese?"
Oh, okay.
And then it's down to their problem. Do you know what I mean? It's kind of like they made me have that.
Yeah.
So anyway, I'm sat in there. This little fella, I'd say he was from like Africa or something. Came in, had a little top hat on, suitcase, and red jeans. Dead happy he was. I think he just turned up to London. It's his first day out, and he's probably thinking, "I can't believe me. Look at the choice here." Anyway, the difference was.
All conjecture.
Yeah.
All
hypothesis.
Yeah,
The
go on.
difference was he went in and he said, "Have you got any porridge?" He asked for 2 bowls for the price of 1. There was a little bit of a
kerfuffle.
Yeah, a little bit, because he couldn't understand why you've got loads of porridge. Give me 2 portions. But what I found interesting is he didn't want to go for the donut or the pastry, because in his country they don't have it. So food where he's from is for what food is for, isn't it? Giving you energy.
Yeah.
Here it's not about that, is it?
No.
You go, "Oh, I'd love a little muffin." So I just found it interesting. That's all my point is, that he could have anything. He's come over here. He's in London. He's got loads of stuff on offer. Yet he still wanted his porridge.
Do you think that... Well, firstly, do you think perhaps he had travelled from the past in some kind of time machine? But secondly, do you think that now that he'll have his first taste of a donut, won't he, or a pain au chocolat, do you think he'll get the taste of it next time you see him?
Well, maybe that's how it
let those
works, isn't it? I mean,
trousers out.
why do I like?
Next time I walk in there, I go, "Hello, usual."
No, shove the porridge. I want a donut.
That's what happens, isn't it? It's all about a mixture. You need a mixture in your body. You need to have, like I've said to you before, I get an urge for things that I don't even know about. Do you know what I mean?
What, like what?
Anything. The one that always surprises me are plums. Because I shouldn't get an urge for plums. I don't like them enough, but if I pass them in a supermarket, I go, "I want them for a bit." Yeah, I think you need that. And I go mad. I'll eat a full packet in a day. I'll eat like 6 and get bellyache and that. And I know I shouldn't overdo it with them. But it's just like my body...
He's like a creature, isn't he?
My body just calls out for stuff.
It doesn't, Carl.
No, he feels that way because I wouldn't normally buy them. My favourite fruit, I like an apple, love a banana. I've got into blackberries.
Yeah.
Quite expensive, but a bit of a treat. I think there's plenty of fruit out there. Bananas, apples, oranges. We've got plenty of fruit. They can't get rid of fruit quick enough. There's loads of stuff with fruit in now. Shower gel with kiwi in it. I'm telling you, they can't get rid of it because it's too much. So they're just going, "What can we do with all this stuff? We'll stick it in there." Orange juice. I had orange juice sort of cordial.
Yeah.
Tastes a bit weird, isn't it? Orange. Sneaked a bit of pineapple in. Orange and pineapple. You can't get rid of the stuff.
I'm a big fan of the Satsuma. Easy to peel. What I don't like is the big oranges. You have to peel them. You get it on your. You
They're
know.
the ones I eat when I'm in the bath. It's just easy,
So you
isn't it?
just dunk under the water afterwards
It's
and
a
you're
bit of a
clean
treat.
again.
If I'm going to have a bath, then that's what you do.
So it's 2 treats. It's an orange and a bath. I mean, that's amazing. That's an amazing thing to look forward to. Don't you think you've blown that for when you're old, when you're 74, and they go, "I tell you what, Carl, lovely treats, a bath and an orange." Done it. I did it when I was 36. So, have you heard Desert Island Discs?
Yeah.
Good, let's do that. Right, forget the 8 records. We
Well, hang
can't
on,
play them
for-
anyway. We can't play them anyway.
I know, but for people in other countries, they may not be familiar with those island discs.
Oh, it's a program. It's a real national institution here. They get, you know, prime ministers and leaders of men and really eminent people to go on, and you talk about your life and you choose your 8 favourite tunes. You take a luxury item and you're allowed to take any book. I did it, and I took a book. I think a tabletop book of art.
Why would you take that?
Oh, you can't take anything that's useful. It's just, you know, it's and your luxury item. You can't. I took a vat of Novocaine. I thought if I get toothache, I'm sipping on that till I die. If I'm stuck here with nothing to do, I've got 8 records. I'm going to be sick of them.
That's the thing.
I'm looking at art. At least I'm looking at something, you know.
What book would you take, Carl?
Well, I wouldn't take an art book anyway. I know that.
Right. Okay.
Because
so come on
you're
in.
gonna get
One
sick
book.
of it. You're going to get sick of.
Right. One book. You can't get sick of art either.
You can.
Okay.
You can. You can have a brilliant picture on your wall, but eventually, remember what I've said to you. Your eyes get bored of anything.
I don't remember him saying that. I think I blanked out. I think he came in one ear, straight out the other.
Well, that's why relationships break up, isn't it? Because the eyes get sick of looking at that other person, and you go, "My eyes want to change." That's what it's all about.
Me eyes want to change. Okay, come
Sorry,
on,
love.
Fucking hell, choose a book to
I'd
take.
probably take a dictionary or something like
Oh,
that.
that's ridiculous.
Why?
Why would you take a dictionary?
Just because I'm not that good with words.
But what do you want words for? You're not talking to anyone anymore. You don't have to worry about the vocabulary. You have to worry about... Oh,
But there'll be a lot of
and...
talking to yourself, probably. It'd be nice to sort of
Oh, so
interest
you're
me.
going to bring yourself up on your grammar, are they? You're talking to yourself and you go, oh, Carl, you're an idiot. You don't say it like that.
Well, if you've got to talk to yourself, it'd be nice to have
Why are you
someone...
talking to yourself, you maniac?
Because there's no one else about.
Yeah, but you don't open your mouth and actually verbally talk in order to talk.
But also, what does it matter if you've got a dictionary or not? Who's arguing with who?
Because sometimes I feel frustrated when I can't get my point across.
But it's just you.
Exactly,
already
that's
know
even
your
more
point.
annoying.
So-
Look how you're getting annoyed now. You're annoyed with me because I can't explain what I mean.
Yeah.
I don't want to be annoying myself.
Why would you be annoying
But
yourself?
you'll already understand your point. You don't need to vocalise
No,
it.
sometimes I think through what I'm saying. And
Yeah.
I think, does that make sense? And sometimes I'll go, no, it doesn't. And I'll go, why is that? And then you're working it out in your head. Now, if I've got a better vocab, I'll have a good little chat.
What? With yourself.
If you're not keeping yourself interested in anything, your brain's going to turn to mush. Now,
I know how you feel.
I'm teaching my brain stuff, keeping it active. The only thing you've got on that island is your imagination and your thoughts. Now, if you can make those imaginations and thoughts better, which you do with language, you're going to have a better time, aren't you?
Well, no, if you've had the thought, you've had the thought. You don't go, hold on, I'd have a thought here, but I can't think of the word.
You don't think in language in that same way, do you really? You think more conceptually.
When someone came up, guess what? I've just found the cure for... Oh, I can't think of the word. What?
Forget it, I won't
I've
mention
just
it to
worked
anyone.
out the cure for... I can't think of the word. Let's look it up. What is it? Cancer.
No, but just to think, language is a powerful thing, isn't it?
Yeah. Oh, he's run out of words.
This is what I'm saying. It's sometimes difficult for me to get my point across with what I mean.
Yeah, but that's fair enough if you're communicating, say, in this environment, and it's, dare I say it, perhaps a shame that you didn't read a dictionary before we started doing the broadcasting. But anyway, you've waited till you're on a desert island with no motherfucker around.
Well, no. Well, I think by then, by the time you get shipwrecked, there would probably be a few more entries to the dictionary. Grippage, foodage, rummaging, replenishing.
So what? All words are made up. Orange. One day someone went, what?
He's got a head.
It's got a head like something.
Got a
I
head
don't
of
even
what?
think
It's got a head like a fucking what?
I don't even know what.
He's got a head like a fucking what?
And the other thing is, say if I am captured.
By who?
What?
By who?
By a boat. That's passive.
Why are you
Captured?
captured? You mean saved?
All right, saved then, yeah.
Okay.
If I'm there you go again, you see. I went for captured instead of saved.
You're captured
you're
by some
not
pirates.
Talking to anyone, Carl, in your head, it didn't matter. You knew what you meant. When you sat there on that desert island, you thought, oh, if I'm captured by a boat. They didn't come over and go, hi, Carl, we've come to save you. You wouldn't go, well, no, I don't want saving, I want capturing. I go, right, sorry, wait for the next boat. It didn't matter. You knew what you meant. You'd go, help, and you'd get on the boat.
Do you think in words that you don't use? You've only got yourself for company.
Yes, but you
if you
don't-
bore yourself, what's the point? What is the point, seriously?
But how are you going to... What, so you think you're going to read that dictionary and you're going to be better company because you're going to be impressing yourself with longer words. You're going to go...
If a boat passes and they go, there's a fella over there on that island, let's go and get him. Now, the way I am at the moment, they'd go, you all right? And I'd go, you what? And they go, oh, don't stop.
Imagine that!
Whereas if I sort of say something with a big word that I can't think of right now, they'll go, oh, who's that? He sounds like he knows his stuff.
Yoo-hoo! Anti-disestablishmentarianism!
Get him on this boat now.
We must have that wit.
All right, you get...
Come through.
But then I'm on the news and they go, oh, Carl, what was it like on the island? and I can start saying stuff. I can't.
was scramfarious.
No, but then I think it makes it more interesting. Whereas at this moment in time, I'd struggle telling them what it's like.
I like the idea of you trying to educate and better yourself.
the idea.
But do it now.
But there's so many other books. If I'm stuck with one,
Okay, the dictionary. You've got a dictionary. What's
Fine.
your luxury item? What's your luxury item? Quick. Let's get off this island. Come on.
what did you take for your luxury?
A vat of Novocaine.
Oh yeah. Some Revels, a big sort of bag,
Big bag of Revels.
A big bag of Revels.
just for variety.
Well, there's no variety particularly in Revels. They're all
Joking,
chocolate,
aren't
aren't
you?
they?
No, all different. You've got orange ones. You've got coffee, caramel, Malteser. I mean, taking Novocaine isn't great, is it? If you don't get toothache, you'll be going, why don't they bring Revels?
For the past few years, Ricky Gervais, Stephen Merchant, and Carl Pilkington have been meeting regularly for a series of pointless conversations. This is one of them.
Testing.
Is that all right? Hello and welcome to the Ricky Gervais Show with me, Ricky Gervais, Stephen Merchant.
Hello.
And the little round-headed buffoon that is Carl Pilkington.
All right.
Carl, what doesn't annoy you? That's the question, really.
No, I'm not going to sit here and... different things annoy me. But I don't just go about getting annoyed.
Seems
Stuff
like it.
happens. No. Stuff happens.
What's
and
annoyed you this week?
I mean, I tend to get annoyed when people around me get annoyed. I'm never the one who's going in somewhere getting annoyed. I'm quite happy-go-lucky, me.
You're having a laugh.
I'm not.
That's rubbish.
You're,
There is nothing about... No one would ever say that.
No one...
How would you describe Carl Pilkington?
Oh, he's happy-go-lucky. Whenever I see him, he's skipping along, whistling a tune.
I whistle a lot, I've told you. I'm
Yeah,
always
only to
whistling.
annoy people when you're playing Scrabble.
No, I just... At the end of the day, I think the problem is, most of the day, I'm on my own,
Right.
right? I'm doing DIY at home, I'm quite happy. No one's there annoying me. I
Right.
go for my lunch later than everyone else, so I don't have to see people.
He's like Quasimodo, isn't he? He's like
Why?
coming down when everyone else is not there.
When no one's around. Suzanne!
No, but then that's the problem. Suzanne then comes home. She's been sort of with people, so she comes in with loads of energy, and I'm going, just slow down. Stop going on, then she's breaking stuff, and that's probably the last
What do
thing.
you mean she's breaking?
What,
She's
in our-
Heavy-handed with all the stuff I've been fixing. She broke the shutters. What else did she break? the
Well, you
other
could have
day?
done a good job.
I did do a good job.
Shutters? Where do you live? In the Old West?
What do you mean the shutters?
Some shutters on a window. She heavy-handed with them.
I don't want them to see me. What a mum.
So what else has she broken?
She's always breaking stuff. The light switch outside. Heavy-handed. Don't. She forces things. If it doesn't work, it doesn't work. It doesn't matter how hard you hit it or how hard you pull it. Just tell me if it doesn't work and I'll sort it. That's what I do these days. I'm like a caretaker to Suzanne's house. I'm wandering around and replacing stuff that she's fucked up.
Jesus Christ.
So she annoys you. She comes home. You've had a lovely day of peace on your own.
So the only person that likes you and talks to you annoys you.
And when you're at home doing your DIY, I want to picture that scene.
Well, okay, right. We've never done this before, right? But let's do a typical day. We've known each other now. How long have we known Carl? Nearly 10 years.
Feels like a long time,
right?
yeah.
So, let's do a typical day in the life of Carl Pilkington.
So, for my first question is, what time does Suzanne have to wake up? Does that annoy you? Does she have to get up earlier than you?
Because she's got a proper job.
The alarm goes off.
What time?
About 7.
That seems early.
Yeah, but I'm used to it now.
Okay.
At the
Now, you
moment,
spring out of bed, make her a cup of tea, do you?
no.
Right.
I let her get up, mess about.
By mess about, you mean get ready for work?
Yeah,
Right.
she's not being quiet, so I'm awake now. Right?
What do you mean she's not being quiet?
Well, she's just banging about, like I say, heavy-handed. I don't know how she does it. It's just doors and stuff. Everything seems like the Hulk's in the house. Bounding about. Just don't be heavy-handed with it. Even like pulling the curtains shut and stuff, because it's not her who has to fix it. Do you know what I mean? When she's yanking at them and pulling them open, it's like just pull them like that. I've put them on a nice rail. Just pull them slowly like that.
Right.
It's things like that.
This sounds like these jobs aren't done correctly.
That's what
They
I'm
are
thinking.
done proper.
No, because if you get if you get a bad pair of jeans and someone says, "Oh, you've ripped it," a good pair of jeans, they won't rip. But
No, just look after it. It doesn't matter if you've got good jeans or poor jeans. Treat them the same. Look after your stuff. I've always been like that.
I know,
I've
yeah.
told you, from a young age, I didn't like people sitting on my bed after I'd made it. It was like, I've gone to the trouble, I've made it, there's no creases in it, don't sit on it. There's a chair there, use the chair.
Sure. Okay. That's mental, but yeah.
It's not mental.
It's the behaviour of a
It's not
psychopath.
mental.
Yeah.
So, Suzanne's
she's
passionate
up.
about the place.
So the doors, I mean, what's up with the doors? Do they squeak, or is the
No.
catch been done wrongly on them,
No.
or
No,
is it the
hasn't.
wrong
No.
wood or something?
No,
Someone's
just
done-
heavy-handed.
Oh, right, okay.
So
yeah.
then, she has a shower. If I have a shower, I like to go second, because I've got the Mr. Muscle spray that she doesn't do properly.
Right.
Do you breakfast together?
Just sit on the bed, have some...
Oh, have you made the bed yet?
Yeah, it's made.
Well, don't sit on the bed if it's made.
That's
No,
mad.
I've
Sit on
calmed
the
down.
chair.
I've calmed down. That's what I've said to her. As I'm getting older,
Yeah.
I'm easing a bit.
Yeah, you're like Doris Day.
So sit on the bed, look
Why
out
are you
the
having
window.
breakfast not sat on the bed? That
Yeah,
makes sense
it
to
doesn't
me.
make sense,
Either
yeah.
have breakfast in bed,
Just 'cause
classic,
the
or have
radio-
it at the kitchen
The
table.
radio's in there, and it's just kind of.
So you get up, make breakfast, go back and sit on the bed because the radio's
What's
in there.
going on with the crumbs, Rick?
I don't know what the crumbs are doing,
The
but I don't
crumbs
know why
all
they've
over-
got two radios.
Crumbs. Hang on, you don't know what I'm having. I'm having cornflakes. No crumbs with cornflakes.
No, but
So you're having, two of you are sat there. Are you sat on opposite sides of the bed looking at each other, or you're both sat on the sides of the bed
sat-
looking at the wall, listening to the radio, eating a bowl of cornflakes?
Yeah,
well, you could sort of cross-legged on the bed, or your legs are down on the
just
floor.
down on the floor.
Right.
Fully clothed now, you've had the showers.
I might have a t-shirt on and my undies.
Okay.
I haven't put my socks on yet. I don't like socks. I'd put them on last.
Why don't you like socks?
They just cut off your freedom.
I don't know how socks can cut off anything.
It's all right if your feet are cold. They're nice to put on, but I don't know. My socks are never that well fitting, so I don't really enjoy
But why
wearing
don't you
them.
get socks that fit
Yeah,
you?
get the
I
right
never buy
size.
socks, do
They
I?
should
Let
be the
other
same
people-
size as your shoes.
Yeah,
little
I let
roll.
other people buy them for me, and they're never quite right.
But hold on though, this is a rule you've imposed on yourself.
I'm only telling you because you've asked. I didn't come in here moaning about it. I'm just
Socks
saying-
cut off your freedom. Never heard that before.
Okay. Mandela said it.
Well, yeah, never heard socks compared to the Berlin Wall.
Yeah, I think William Wallace said it as well. Right.
Yeah, imagine that in Braveheart. Just takes his socks off and goes,
Yeah.
freedom!
Yeah.
Anyway, then I'll say, right, on your way to work, take the bin bag out.
Right.
She'll do that, and then I get on with whatever I've got to do that day.
Little kiss on the cheek, on the
But why
forehead.
do you say
Pat on the head.
who pats who on the head?
I'll just sort of rub the back of her head. There you go. See you later.
Then what? You're there. You got your pants on. You got your t-shirt on.
Well,
You've
you
had
listen
your
to the
cornflakes.
news. You listen to what's being said on the radio. We'll have a little discussion about it. Sometimes she's in the mood for it. Sometimes she'll go, "Don't worry about it."
Right. What now? What would she say that to then? What would you worry about if you heard on the news?
I heard something about worms getting teeth,
Right.
and she was kind of going, "You know, you're not meant to worry about this news story. This war's going on stuff. You never listen to them."
Do you remember the story of the worms with the teeth? Should we be alarmed ourselves? What was the information?
It was just saying how it was all about nature versus nurture thing,
Right.
and saying how worms that are growing up in a family where there's loads of food around,
What do you mean growing up in a family?
just a family of worms in the soil,
Right.
They're going through the soil. If there's loads of food for everyone, and they don't have to fight for food,
Right.
they're quite happy they don't have teeth. The ones, like the rougher worms, where there's not enough, it's like a massive family, the kids left, right and centre, but they haven't got the nutrients to feed them all. They fight against each other, and the ones, they're growing teeth now.
I didn't hear the new story, so I'm going out on a limb here. I don't think it was about a worm being maybe more working class and chavvy, though. With like big families, look at that, that big family can't even feed them all. And then you got middle class worms going, we've got enough food for everyone because we haven't overbred.
You know what people are like now? They've got researchers watching all sorts of stuff,
Right.
keeping their eye on everything. When you don't have to worry about it. A worm with teeth, if they've got teeth or not, to me it is not a problem. Not a problem at all. I normally save a worm if I see one.
So,
In the rain, on a pavement. If I see it there, I go, someone's going to stand on that, and I chuck it, and I sort of watch it for a bit, see which way it was going, give it an helping hand.
see which way it was going, like it had an aim.
Well, they do. No, they do though, don't they? They're always going somewhere.
Yeah.
He was going to the dentist.
You can't tell. You don't know which end its head's on.
Okay, so it's 8:05. Suzanne's gone out, you've rubbed the back of her head, she's took the rubbish out. You're there. Pants. T-shirt.
No socks.
No socks yet. What happens to the bowls of ex-cornflakes? Where do they go? Have you got...
I wash up.
You wash up. That's the next thing you do, is it? Right, okay.
Now then, do you plan ahead for the day? Do you think to yourself, Carl, make a list of stuff to do, or do you just let it go?
I let it happen. I don't like... the worst thing for me is planning.
Yeah,
I told you before.
Yeah.
You don't get anything done by planning, is what you said.
I don't like the idea of waking up going, I've got to do that today, because that's when you don't look forward to doing the thing.
Yep.
Whereas I get up, I'm washing up, I'll look at a wall and I'll go, those tiles aren't very good, I'm going to rip them off. So,
Jesus Christ. This is amazing. This is amazing. I mean, forget Idiot Abroad. Forget the Ricky Gervais show. Let's just have 24/7 Carl Cam. Just think how that would look. He gets up, Suzanne leaves, we get him to, he looks at a wall.
He starts tearing the tiles off. It looks like the behaviour of a psychopath, doesn't it?
Oh, so this is what worries me, though. The fact that you're always doing DIY suggests that you didn't do a good job in the first place.
no,
Steve, am I wrong?
I never ever do the same thing twice.
No,
Once
we
it's
know.
done, it's done. I do it right. I take my time. I get it done
So
right.
this is other people's workmanship that you're undoing and doing
Definitely.
properly. Okay, right.
Now, the radio's in the bedroom, so you can't listen to the radio when you're doing your work.
I normally drag it through.
You drag it through. How big is it?
No, it's just a little clock radio thing.
So it's plugged in, it's,
plug it in,
yeah, okay.
Then,
So if it wasn't for meeting up with me and Steve and Suzanne being home between, I don't know, 6 o'clock at night and 8 the next morning, you wouldn't talk to anyone, would you?
Do you have any friends that you might talk to?
yeah, I talk to some people on the phone. But then I soon get bored with that.
Right.
About 5 minutes in, I realise I'm not listening anymore.
So what were you talking about that you got bored about?
I can't remember because I got bored with it.
Yeah.
And he was talking, and I kind of thought, I hope he doesn't say, what do you think of that in a minute, because I wasn't listening.
Right.
So what's the point of having the conversation?
I don't know.
But hold on, I call you up. It's presumably the first phone call you get. It's the first phone call I make. I call you up, and I go, what's going on, boy? Right?
Yeah, but most of the time I don't tell you, because you'll go, right, what are you doing DIY? Pay someone to do it. And we have to have all that, every day, the same chat. If I'm not doing DIY, I wouldn't be doing anything. And then I get grumpy. Suzanne comes home, she goes, what have you done today? And I go, nothing. And I get fed up then, because I don't feel like I'm worth anything.
I work harder for your career than you do. I'm always doing stuff to try and get you to do stuff. I'm always trying to get you shows and things, and I'm always trying to get you to get out there and do something towards it.
I don't want to do it. I've done it now.
Yeah.
I've done it.
Yeah.
We did the programme, it goes out on the telly. Job done. If people want to watch it, they watch it. There's no point me cropping up on Loose Women, asking people to tune into my programme. They either want to watch it or they don't. If they're watching Loose Women, I don't want them watching my programme. There's a lot of crap on the telly, and that's why, in a way, people go, oh, it's amazing, isn't it, that you're on the telly? No, not really, because there's loads of garbage on there. Anyone can get on it.
Yeah. Well, that's
It's
true.
not special anymore.
That's
It used to be
true.
special in the 80s when there was like 3 channels, 4 channels. Now it's a doddle.
But that's why you should make special TV. You should relish that.
No, because they want some sort of Flumph telly, don't they? That's like, they don't have to think about.
Yeah.
Do you mean the programme The Flumps?
He didn't say flump. He said flump.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Now how are you spelling flump? It's F-L-U-M-F. PH flump. PH flump.
PF.
PF. Oh,
PF?
Flump. Okay.
Flump telly.
Yeah, Flump.
Flump telly. So take it this way. So
And what would be an example of Flump telly?
what's flump telly?
No, I don't want to go slagging stuff off, but I'm just saying I watch
Who
less
would
and less
feature
telly
in
now.
Flump telly? Who would be a typical
Who's
person?
typical? Is it all for those awful docu-soaps where people live their life like an open wound, saying, "Look, me fanny fell off," and
I haven't seen that, but yeah, all that sort of stuff. I do honestly. The amount of telly I watch now compared to a few years ago, it's non-existent. Suzanne comes home at night. I might watch a Grand Designs to get some tips off it. Other than that,
So that's work. You count that as work, don't you?
Research at
well,
least.
at least you learn something. So then we'll just sit and have a game of crib. Or
You'd have been happy in the Blitz, wouldn't you? You'd have been happy down in one of those subway stations.
Oh, Suzanne, what? What? Chimney scar? Oh no, what was that? Doodlebug. I better go up there. Oh, leave it, well, it's fine. Oh, that's bloody heavy-handed, them Germans. They're bloody heavy-handed.
Well, let's go back a bit here. So you've done a bit of tiling. Good job. Please, you're halfway through. Spot a lunch around 3ish.
yeah.
What do you do? Do you pop out for lunch in a cab?
Depends. Sometimes Suzanne, as I pat her on the head, she sometimes says, "There's some ham in the fridge." I'll go, right.
I love it. Like, there's a little choreograph. If I better pat her on the head. I don't know what's going to eat today. Oh, Carl thinks, like Pavlovian conditioning.
Yeah.
Last time I patted her on the head, she told me about some food in the fridge. Bye, love. Take the rubbish out. I'm in the fridge. Cheers. Brilliant. Yeah. Okay.
So I'll eat that.
Now, the radio's on the whole time. Is there? Because I want to picture this. You're not working in silence. Radio's on the whole time. That little squeaky radio that's sort of halfway in the doorway of the bedroom and the lounge or whatever. You've got the radio. And what station you listen to? You listen to music? You listen to
Sometimes I
speech?
listen to sort of speech stuff.
Right.
Sometimes I listen to music.
What would be speech, like a kind of one of those phone-in programs, or?
Phone-ins do me head in a bit.
Right.
I like, reports on stuff.
So you like to be informed as you go?
Yeah, just so it gives me something to talk about, because if you're not with anyone all day, your brain's not doing anything, is it? Whereas me listening to them, it's like having someone in the room telling you stuff without you having to chat back. I prefer that. I'm a bigger listener than I'm a talker.
Yeah.
Whereas these days, a lot of people are talking, but they're not listening.
Perfect.
So,
Although you're not listening to actual humans like your friends when they call you up.
because they're just mithering.
Do you make sure that you get everything done and dusted before Suzanne comes home, so she comes home to a spotless place?
Yeah.
And so she comes in, do you instantly show her the work you've done, or do you just let her notice it for herself?
Sometimes I just leave it and see how long it takes for her to go, "Oh, you've done that."
Okay.
And if she doesn't notice it, are you annoyed or are you excited to tell her?
Sometimes I forget.
He does it again the next day.
Yeah, that timing's a bit shoddy. I should do that. Wow, sometimes you forget. And so it's not the equivalent of when a lady comes to him and says, oh, you haven't noticed my new hairdo. Is it sort of the equivalent for you? If she hasn't noticed, you don't get frustrated?
Now, you do notice her new hairdos, don't you? Because you say you don't like them. So what does she say about your tiling?
No, most of the stuff I do, she goes, "That's good," but sometimes she'll go, "Why don't we just get someone in to do it?"
What, before or after?
Well, it depends what it is. If it's something that's big and has been bothering her, but it's not bothering me, I'm saying I'll sort it out.
Well, what's an example of something that's big that bothers her and not you?
Don't worry about it. She's going to get someone in. Well, no, I won't get someone in. Because, you see, the thing is, she got someone in once when the oven blew up. Right? I said, leave it, I'll sort it, I'll look at it. No, you don't know what you're doing. Get someone in. No, let me have a look. No, get someone in. She calls someone up. They come round. The old £80 call-out charge business, straight away. They pull it out. They go, it was the fuse and the plug. Now, I could have sorted that out, but she didn't give me a chance. So now it's good now, because I've got that on the old back burner. So every time she says, let's call someone out, I'll go, oven. There's a little reminder. So I'm glad in a way that she did. But so now she just leaves it. She doesn't interfere.
No, Carl, I've got terrible pains. Oven.
I normally speak to my mum and dad at some point every day.
Really?
Do you? Every
Give
day
them a
you
call.
speak to your mum and dad?
Yeah.
Could you take us through a typical conversation with your dad? He calls up.
What does he say? What does he say?
He said, I've just been out, got your mum some medicine.
Well, every time he calls, he's
No,
been
I'm
out.
just telling you the last call.
Oh, I see. Sorry. Right.
What's the weather like? And then my mum might get on, and
Okay.
What's she got to say?
Look forward to this.
she just tells me a bit of it. She, like, what was it the other day? She said, "Oh, have you seen them tablets? That are food."
She's just so like you. She's just like you. Oh God, what is she, a fucking astronaut? Have you seen them tablets? What are food? Oh,
Go on, what
God.
other tablets that are like food?
No, that's what it is. It's like the spaceman food. They've come out and we're just chatting about them. She's saying, "Oh,
What do you mean they've come out? Really?
yeah, because we live in a busy world and everything, where people haven't got time to have a proper lunch."
So you have a call like this, scintillating phone conversation like this every day with your parents.
Yeah.
And does she always try to find a piece of new information she thinks might interest you?
That's
each day?
sweet, though. That's
Yeah,
sweet that he
absolutely.
talks to his parents every day. So you've spoken to your mum and dad. You've changed the tiles.
Suzanne comes in,
Kitchen's all clean, ready for her to make the tea.
ready for her to make the tea, even though I know you've been tiling, but that was a job you gave yourself. You didn't have to do it.
No, but I don't do cooking. She knows that. This isn't even a discussion.
Right.
She knows.
What are you having tonight?
Scampi. So she'll do all that. I'll eat it.
And sorry, let me just rewind for a second.
I'll eat it. He's listing it in his day's work. I'll eat it. I say, I've eaten that. She goes, thank you. You go, oven. Okay, let's act it out.
Yep.
Okay, you've just cleaned up, right? The last bit there. You look back. Them tiles look good. You look at the clock.
Right. Backing up. Cleaning up all the mess. Phone's going. Who's that? Suzanne. Alright. Yeah. Coming home. Alright then. See you in a bit. She'll go. I'll put the kettle on, or at least fill it, ready. Because she normally calls again.
What do you mean? She calls again? What?
She calls again when she's out the tube.
Let's do it. Let's hear it. What's going on?
Alright. You out the tube? Yeah, do you want a cup of tea? Yeah. Right, see you in a minute. Sometimes I'll say, "Oh, get us a little treat when you come out the tube."
Yeah.
So she'll get me, a bounty or something to go with a cup of tea.
Do you
Coconut.
specify that when you say get me a treat? She says, well, what? Sometimes you have a Mars bar, sometimes you have a
No,
Bounty.
that's enough for me. I'll go when she comes in. It's a talking topic, isn't it? What have you got me?
Topic? She sometimes gets you a topic.
It's something to chat about, isn't it?
Right, okay.
Bounty.
To chat about.
So, has there ever been a time... Sorry, I just got to get this straight, Steve.
Sorry, Rick, I just wanted to say, could you imagine you and I having a conversation about what chocolate bar you ever brought me? What'd you get me, Rick?
Got your bounty, is that all
Thanks,
right?
mate. That's as long as that conversation can possibly
Yeah,
go.
that is
You're
it.
talking about it's a talking point.
Yeah, so what happens? So what was the last time there was a discussion about what she bought you? Did she ever bring you a bounty and you go, oh, I was really hoping for a Mars bar?
I think the last time she got a bounty, I sort of said, "Oh, they do a 3-pack now." Do you know how they just have 2 bars? They do a 3 one.
Right, what did she say?
She said, "Did they?" Said, yeah.
So I want out of this relationship.
No, but that's how she comes through. Take a coat off. I'll go. Oh. She'll go. What are we having scampi still, or have you gone off the idea? And then I'll go. Oh, we should get them tablets. My mum's been talking about. She goes, "What tablets?" I go, "The food." So see how it's all coming together.
Yeah.
So it's like that, and that's.
What does she say to the idea of now living on tablets instead of having some scampi and chips when she comes home after a hard day's work? What does she
She
say
just
to
sort of
that?
goes, "Oh, right."
She says, "Oh right."
Yeah.
So this important information which you're imparting that you've garnered during the day, her response to that is, "Oh right."
Yeah.
So-
and then I'll get her attention at some point. I'll say there's worms with teeth.
I'll get her attention at some point. I'll say, I'm going to bring out the good big guns now.
Imagine-
Right, she's ignoring me. Okay, wait for this. Suzanne, I see you're ignoring me. Yeah. Worms with teeth. Oh, God. Amazing. So what does she say to worms have teeth?
I can't remember. She just sort of said, "Oh, have you got the facts right?" I said, "Yeah." That's kind of it. And she'll either go, "Oh, right," or she'll. I mean, it's pretty rare that it's anything more than that.
So it's not a conversation, really. It's,
No.
because the response twice now has been, "Oh right."
What happens next? Take us through.
I'll sort of say, "Anything to report? Anything gone on today?" And she knows it's. I sort of phase off again. It's like a phone call. She'll go, "Oh, so and so's leaving or whatever," and I don't know these people, and I'm not that interested.
And she senses that.
Yeah.
Yep.
So she'll go, oh, have you paid the insurance? I go, no, I forgot. She'll go, yeah, I told you to do that. I said, yeah, but I've been doing the tiling. She's going, yeah, but weren't meant to do the tiling. I asked you to sort the insurance out on the washer, because the washer keeps breaking. And she won't let me fix it, even though I know what it was. It was a heating element. I said, I know how to fix that. Then have a game of crib.
It's like being in an old people's home.
I know.
And you've had a lovely game of crib with Suzanne, because, you know, the magic's still there. And what time do you hit the sack?
Don't know, about 11.
Do you go to bed at the same time?
Yeah. So that's it, yeah, that's the day, really.
Well, hang on, we haven't finished yet. So, any conversation before bed?
Depends if the radio's on. I might say, look, here's that story about the worm.
Yeah.
And then she'll go, yeah, but look, it hasn't got teeth. It said this, that, and the other. And I'll go, oh, yeah, forgot.
Good night.
That's the end of that, really.
Another day closer to death. Of Englishness and England, it's quite a vague term, isn't it? You can play loose and fast with it. I mean, for instance, I was looking at some quotes about England, and John Major, former Prime Minister, he typified England as being a place of long shadows on county cricket grounds, warm beer, invincible green suburbs, dog lovers, and old maids bicycling through the morning mist. Very specific vision of England.
But he never came to the estate that I was born on, or Carl was born, you know what I mean?
So, what is your typical image of an Englishman now?
If I had to draw it for an alien,
yeah,
he'd be quite squat, quite sturdy, sort of no neck, hairy.
Are you just thinking of yourself?
Do you know what? It would be my build with Carl's head.
Really?
And no neck, yeah. I think he's sort of balding and unshaven, and he's like a shaved caveman. I think he's tough. He'd have tats. He'd eat like a dog.
It's the bulldog breed.
It is the bulldog breed. I am thinking of the bulldog breed, yeah.
See, now my image of an Englishman is essentially that cliched one. It is, I think, Hugh Grant.
So you're modern. You're straight away modern now.
I would say it's either mixed between Hugh Grant and Roger Moore when he was James Bond.
You see, that's another small percentage of Englishness that sort of annoys me. Those people that think they're James Bond. They think they can buy a suit and read GQ, and they're suave and sophisticated, and they get cars they can't afford. All they do is work in a bank, come home, and flick through GQ at the adverts, looking at people with wearing watches and aftershave. Who wears aftershave?
Do you wear aftershave, Carl?
Normally, aftershave is the sort of thing I let other people buy me. It's like underpants. Underpants, tea towels, and sort of aftershave and that. Other people buying me.
Who's buying you tea towels?
My mum.
Right, okay.
Every time she turns up, she's got Brilla pads and stuff. I've got loads of them. I keep saying to her, I don't need any of this, but she always brings a box full of stuff. Brilla pads, tea towels, underpants. The underpants size hasn't gone up since I was 14. But I can rely on her for that.
So do you not have anything in your life which you would think of as being gentlemanly? Do you ever dress smartly? What about suits?
I bought one suit that time when you invited me to the BAFTAs. That's the only suit. I think I wore it for one other thing. I haven't wore it since. I don't feel comfortable, it's not me.
But don't you go to a wedding?
That'd be a lovely advert, wouldn't it? Him with a suit on going, I haven't wore it since. Carl Pilkington hasn't wore it since.
I don't go to weddings. No, I don't like going to them.
I agree.
I mean, even though you know them, they don't give you any time when you're there, do they? It's just sort of, they don't know whether you're there or not. They're on cloud 9. They don't know who's around.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter. You don't need
It's
to
all
be there.
with them on wedding day. It's all me, isn't it?
Well, firstly, I'm annoyed about the wedding list. I don't know when that's come along because I don't know why I can't just bring maybe something I've made at home. No. Why has there got to be a list of stuff?
What newly married bride doesn't want a pair of homemade clogs?
Exactly.
Do you know what I mean?
But saying that, I think people very much appreciate you being at their wedding.
No,
They do. They remember if you were there.
No, they don't.
They do.
They don't.
You don't get invited to weddings because you ain't got any mates.
No, I've got to know enough people. Everyone's getting married. But they're always in the middle of nowhere.
That annoys me when people say, "Come to our wedding." Yeah, fine. We're in Greece.
Yeah.
Well, the thing that drives me insane when you do go is when they put you on a table with people you don't know.
Well,
I
that's
got
it.
all my mates there, and they put because I got to mingle with some people. I don't care. I need these.
But that's what I'm not good at. Talking to people once. Talking to people who you don't know.
No.
What sort of stuff would you make conversation about at a wedding?
I'd probably say, first of all, how do you know them? How do you know the people getting married? And then, do you think it'll last?
Imagine inviting Carl Pilkington to wedding and going, well, where should we put him? Oh, I don't know. Is there a table for one? Oh, just
You'd be on a table with the kids.
Imagine being stuck with Carl Pilkington at a wedding. Yeah, what else? So you've asked them to think it'll last. They've gone, I'm sorry? Who are you? Oh, Carl Pilkington from Manchester. Right. Yes, we think it'll last. What else would you ask? So what's your next?
The last wedding I went to, it's going back a couple of years, but everyone seems a bit snidey. Do you know what I mean? Because you've got a mixture of families there, haven't you?
Yeah.
And none of them really like each other.
No.
And I got stuck with an old fella who had a flatulence problem.
That sounds fun.
And then he went on to say it doesn't matter, the suit's hired. And it's just kind of...
I'm gonna die!
I just don't like him.
I love it. He's basically saying at a wedding, it doesn't matter if I shit myself. Oh.
Maybe it's that thing that I don't appreciate what I've got. But to me, being English isn't anything that great.
Really?
Why not?
Because it's just what I've been dealt with.
If you could be any nationality, what would you be and why?
Probably be Italian.
Okay. Why?
Well, just yeah, I like the idea of it. I like Italians are alright.
Where would you live? Rome?
I probably wouldn't want to be in the middle of Rome. It's too much hassle.
Have you been to Rome?
Yeah, it's nice to visit and stuff.
Yeah.
It's good. A lot of old stuff.
Why have you chosen Italy? I'm interested to know why of all the countries you've chosen Italy.
I was a late comer to pasta.
But it's won you round.
I like it now. It's like one of my favourite things I have. Which there isn't really anything like that in England. That even though it's
Well, except pasta.
Pasta's
No,
almost
but it's-
exactly like it.
Yeah,
No, but it's not.
We've got pasta, haven't
it's
we?
not ours though, is it? And we
No,
don't know
we've
how
got-
to eat it.
What do you mean we don't know how to eat it?
We do it all wrong.
You stick it up your arse again.
Look at me. I know how to fucking eat it.
No, but what I mean is, if you saw a proper Italian and they saw what we did to pasta, they would not be happy.
What are we doing wrong? Tell me what we're doing wrong
Well, I
with
don't
pasta.
know that, otherwise we wouldn't be doing
Well,
it
how
wrong.
do you know
we're doing it
how do you
wrong?
know
I've
they
just
don't?
heard we do it wrong. It's like how we have the coffee at all the wrong times. I ordered a cappuccino somewhere and the Italian fella said you shouldn't be having that now. It's a breakfast coffee.
Yeah, it is, yeah. Before 12 o'clock,
Yeah,
yeah.
but I was having it at like 4:45 at night.
Oh,
It looks
wow.
Like I
Well,
was
that's
mental.
absurd. How are you going to get to sleep with a lovely cup of coffee?
Yeah, that's
Well,
a
I
good
don't
one.
sleep anyway,
You
yeah.
shouldn't drink coffee anyway at night. Full stop.
So, hang on. So you love pasta, but you're not eating it right. So you'd like to be Italian in order to be able to eat pasta correctly, even though you enjoy the pasta you
What
eat.
do you feel being Italian is, and what's
It's just,
attractive
it's
to
just
being...
very sort of, it's a relaxed lifestyle. Whenever you go to Italy, everyone's outside a cafe. It doesn't matter what sort of person
Carl,
you are.
that's all you do now with your spare time is sit
Yes.
outside a cafe.
But they get more respect over there. For
Why?
it. It's like it's okay to do that. There's older people sat outside cafes who do nothing.
I
and it's
love the
just
fact that he
they're
wants to
probably
be
retired.
Italian so he can sit outside a cafe and get more respect than he does now sit outside a cafe.
No, but everyone's rushing about here. People have like colder coffee. They have frappuccinos here because they haven't got time to have a hot coffee. It's like they've got a coffee with ice in so I can neck it. Get it down my neck and get on with my day. Relax, enjoy your coffee. I don't understand the rush.
But the reason you enjoy Italy is because when you're there, you're on holiday. That's why you're able to chill out and
No,
relax.
no.
When you say it's old people sat in some little Sicilian village. Of course they got no money.
Here, I went to the Salvation Army, right?
Why?
Because it's nice.
What do you mean?
You can get toast and a cup of tea for £1.
Carl, you little skinflint.
That's just that should be the going rate, Steve. I'm surprised I haven't seen you in there, to be honest. But the thing is,
Where is
now, just near Camden.
What is it? Is it like old people?
A lot of old people, mainly old people. And this is what I'm saying. These are people who are old and they sat in a cafe, but they don't get any respect. People are walking past and they don't want to go in. The way you reacted when I said I was in the Salvation Army, that's the reaction they get. Yet an old Italian person, they looked after better.
Well, it's certainly true they look after their older families, don't they?
Right,
They do
and
respect
that's all
them.
I'm saying. Whereas, I mean, it's a lovely place, Salvation Army. Every old fella in there's got a tie on.
Yeah.
They make an effort.
Yeah.
So anyway, yeah, that's what I like about Italians and that. There's a lot of.
So you want to be
respect.
Italian because when you're old, you can sit outside a cafe and get more respect than you do here.
Yeah, look at the old people in this country. They never look happy, do they? Really. Most of the time, when you see them walking around, they go to pot. No one's keeping an eye on them.
Well, it's an important thing, isn't it? That my mum, this is when she was about 60, 65. There was a neighbour who was, 85, 90. And my mum used to go around there every day. Do you want any shopping? Do it, right? But I remember calling her once, and she'd come back. I said, what are you doing? She went, I've been round so-and-so. So I went, all right. She went, she won't die, Rick. Like, she's helping her, but she's thinking, this is getting silly now. You were meant to go years ago here. I was like,
Well, that's the problem, you know. If you get pally with an old person,
Yeah.
then you could be stuck with them for years.
and having to do stuff, you know, that's what you don't want to do, is it? You meet an old fella, and then you've got to start popping in his sort of piles or whatever when he can't do them himself. You know, what do you do if you're...
It depends how friendly you are, though. I mean, I'm just talking about someone you meet at the bus stop, as opposed to popping the piles back in. How does that happen? Jesus. Just the ones on the estate I grew up on. As soon as he got to a certain age, there was Mrs. Knowles who went mental. One day she seemed fine, next day she was chucking cans in everyone's garden. You could just hear her coming. Which was weird. Aren't you? Now you've brought up weird people. There was
Go
a
on.
fella called Shorts Man. Right?
It's so pedestrian! I love that.
Shortest man wore some shorts.
Now, what I like, yeah, he did, but they were really short. They were that sort where, you know, it's almost pointless having them on.
What do you mean?
They were just, you know, like shorts now for blokes. They go up to your knees, don't they? There's no chance. There's no accident happening there. There's
Go on.
nothing going to pop out.
Yeah.
No.
But Shorts Man, he liked it. He liked the fact that happened. And he used to walk with big strides to sort of help the chance along. So that he knew, with the big strides and the short shorts,
Yeah.
they were going to pop out.
Did you ever see it pop out?
Yeah.
Why would you
everyone
look at
did.
the shorts?
Just because it was like playing Buckaroo. It was like, when are they going to pop out?
But what...
It's just what happened.
So, right, but shorts man. So he was an exhibitionist. He basically wanted people to see his veg.
Yeah. And they were out more than they were in. I mean, they had a tan. Right? Now, the thing is, what we like in England, I think we like that. We like local characters.
The eccentric.
Yeah.
Eccentric's that's very British. Eccentric, yeah.
I'm glad I grew up round there with all them people because
So
they're
am I.
interesting.
Do you think there's a big difference, Carl, between the Englishman of yesteryear who didn't complain? I mean, he just got on with things. He might have whinged about the weather and the like, but he just got on with things.
He
you
carried
know?
an umbrella.
Yeah. Whereas
whinge about
nowadays,
anything.
people are getting their Prozac and their antidepressants.
If
they're going
someone-
to therapy.
Yeah. He kept out of stuff as well. Why are we getting involved now in everything? Thoughts on that, Carl?
It's news now, innit? Sometimes I think, don't tell me, don't want to know. Just get on with it. Whoever's job that is, get on with it.
Yeah.
Why am I being told about it? When I've got a problem in my job, no one else knows. No one helps me out and goes, well, I've got an opinion for him.
No.
This might help him. No one helps me. But I'm being bombarded by everyone else's hassle. They love talking, actually. That's what the English do. Talking, but they never finalise it. They love just being in the meeting room, talking, saying, yeah, we could do this, we could do that. I'm the only one in that room not getting paid. Everyone else is on a wage. I'm there looking at my watch, thinking, right, I've been here for an hour and nothing's been sorted. They're looking, thinking we can drag this out for another half hour, get us to lunch. That's what annoys me. They're all sat there just pushing bullshit around the room like dung beetles. Sick of it. And that's what the English do. And it's a shame, because I don't think we used to be like that. I wish everybody just sort of kept to themselves more.
Either one alone and two getting on with it. I love it. Most
I
of
love
the time.
that it started off as some kind of poetic analogy. I don't know what that was.
Most of the time.
I just,
Oh, God. I like this thing of the Englishman I knew growing up was you had to, when you hit a certain age, when you hit, like, manhood or puberty or whatever, 13, 14, 15, you had to start showing your mettle. You had to be tough. I remember, right, when I first started going to pubs, right, so I don't know, say 18, you walk into a toilet, the urinals, and the first thing everyone did was fart and gob.
Yeah.
That was it, right?
Yeah,
If you
yeah.
couldn't do that, then, you know, you get funny looks. You know, you go in the urinal and they'd look at you, oh, sorry. It was all about, being a man, you know.
I think wearing glasses makes you slightly exempt from that. It's like you don't have to... People automatically dissociate. It's like if I was in prison, I wouldn't have to do that because I'd just be the professor.
Yeah,
Do you know what I mean?
exactly,
Or brains.
yeah.
I would.
Yeah.
I
They'd
wouldn't
come to
need to
you
be part
with
of it. I'm never a threat because I never look like I'm going to be a tough guy. So consequently, I live in this sort of parallel stratosphere where I haven't got a piss and gob.
Yeah.
has that got more popular?
Yes.
Has it?
Yeah.
There's a lot
What,
of people
gobbing?
doing it in the streets now.
Really?
It's
Not
like
in,
avoiding-
Not in Hampstead.
It still is, you know. When I walk
The only
in,
person gobbing in Hampstead is me. Jane says, don't gob. People are looking.
well, it is. It's your trail that I'm seeing then. It's like a load of sort of washed-up jellyfish in London. Just big blobs of it. I mean, I don't know how they're coughing this stuff up. I mean, they shouldn't still be alive. Some of them have, like, organs in them. It's just big lumps of stuff.
I mean, that list of idyllic, antiquated England of, you know, tea and cakes and cricket, I mean, is valid. But I think the things that sum up Englishness, I mean, talking of the weather, I think drinking, war, we love a ruck.
Yeah.
We're built on war. We're a warrior race.
We're pretty good at war.
Talking of the English sense of fair play and war, when the crossbow was invented, a lot of people wouldn't use it. They said it was unchristian. So our soldiers sort of resisted it. So Europeans got this thing that needed no skill, and it was shooting these bolts, and they could reload quick. And versus our bowmen. What do you think of that? What do you think of going, oh, it's cheating, we won't use it, but having a disadvantage? That's honour, isn't it?
But what's the problem here? What am I meant to be worrying about?
Well, you've got bow and arrows.
Yeah.
They're amazing. They're heavy. Someone comes along and goes, don't worry about that. Here's a crossbow. Just pop it in, put it back. Deadly. Deadly, quick. Anyone can use it. So now you've got anyone with a crossbow killing people.
Women, children.
Anyone can use it. So the Europeans, they're going crazy. But we resisted it because we thought it was, you know, unchristian and cheating to kill without skill. What do you think of that?
But where were the actual bows and that being made? Because that's the thing, isn't it? The company who's making them, they just want
Right.
to get out to a big market.
Brilliant.
That's what they do now with the iPod and everything. It's not about people wanting more music than ever before. That's not the case. It's about having the accessory. And if the bow and arrow was like sold as this, you know, light to carry for all the family, that's how it would have happened. That's what it's all about.
You new bow and arrow from Ronco.
But what do you think the problem
Yeah,
is?
but you're not quite getting Ricky's point. His point is the idea of there being sort of rules and fair play and etiquette in war. The
I don't
objective is
think
to
that's
kill
a
the enemy.
place. I don't think war and that is a place to start getting all uppity about someone cheating or having a better system.
Really? You think all fair in love and war, do you?
Yeah, definitely.
Right. But
It's just about
rules,
winning.
isn't it?
No, not in a war. There isn't rules.
What's extraordinary about the idea of English fair play is, you know, famously the approach during the First World War, that we would sort of walk up out of the trenches onto no man's land and sort of politely march at a slow, steady pace across towards the
I know.
enemy. I mean, and then we were just being machine gunned down. I mean, it was absurd.
And that's the one they had a knockabout and stuff, didn't they? They took a game of football. And
In
that.
no man's land, yeah. Christmas Day.
But he took a football there. If I was on the front line, I would not be getting out the rule book. I can tell you that much. I'd be going mental.
Are you saying there should be some rules or no rules?
I mean, you've got to have some rules, otherwise it's just going to be like Grand Theft Auto, isn't it? I'm just going to go about battering everyone.
Yeah.
And you soon get bored of that.
Which rules would you repeal that already exist that you don't like?
It's a shame you can't tip as much as you used to be able to.
You mean in a restaurant?
No, just when you're getting rid of a mattress or something.
So fly tipping, you'd like to see more fly tipping.
What do you mean? This is something so personal. He's fed up. He had to take something.
No, it's just that they used to put stuff outside the house, and just like you had mattresses, you had sideboards, sewing machines. The thing is, it was a good way of recycling. Now they say recycle, but we're not recycling. It's just being put in a bin. I'm saying if you've got old furniture, you should be allowed to leave it outside your house without the council going, move that, it's dangerous, someone's going to trip over it. Well, if they trip over it, it should have been looking where they're going.
Well, what if they're blind?
What?
What if they're blind? That's why you don't leave things out in the pavement, because blind people will fall over and smack their face in.
No, because I'm leaving it. I'm not leaving it on the pavement.
Well, you just said you were. Where are you leaving it?
Sort of outside the house.
Where are you leaving it, Carl? You haven't established where you're leaving this yet. Because so far, a blind person's fallen over and broken his nose.
I've never
and
seen a
lost 2
blind
teeth.
person trip over anything.
You've never seen a blind person trip over anything?
Definitely not. They're better on the feet than some people because they're more cautious, aren't they?
So
Make it more fun for them, if anything.
why can't you just have this stuff collected by a second-hand shop or
Because
send
they
it
won't.
to
They
a
don't come,
charity?
Steve.
They will.
Honestly, they don't. I've called up people and they're saying, "Yeah, we'll be there in an hour." And I say, "Right, I'm going to put it out on the street. Then are you going to come and get it?" "Yeah, we'll be there." An hour passes by. They haven't been. Suddenly, the
blind people
council
all
goes
over the
past.
place. On the floor, bloodied noses.
And the council say, I call them up, do you want to shift it? Well, we might, but don't know when. Well, it's outside the house now. Well, you can't leave it there. It's your responsibility. You'll have to stay with it. Suddenly, I'm wasting time sat outside the house with rubbish that someone else might want. But you're not allowed to leave there because a blind person might come along. What's the dog doing?
What do you make of St. George, the patron saint? What's your take on that?
Is he the one who killed a dragon?
Right. Tell us the story.
There was a dragon problem.
Where?
Must have been in England.
Right.
George took it on. He took on the job. He was like a rent-a-kill. He came out. The interesting thing with him is, right, he was a hero then. I honestly think if he did that now, there'd be an uproar. Because it's the last dragon. It's the same way we try to save the panda and all that now. If he came out and said, I've done it, and he's done what? They've just killed the last dragon. They'd go mental. There'd be marches. Idiot, bloody idiot. And that's what's interesting.
But it was going around burning people.
Doesn't matter, we shouldn't have killed the last one. It's the last one. And that's what we'd be like. You say, you should have saved it, you should have captured it and put it in a cage so we can all look at it.
There's
and
no
stuff.
point. You couldn't have bred anyway. It was the last one.
Was it definitely the last one?
Well, you were saying it was the last one. I'm not bothered either way.
Hang on, what?
To me,
Sorry,
hang on. Whoa, whoa, whoa.
So you think that there were dragons?
Well, what are we celebrating then?
Well, it could be a metaphor, a dragon slayer. It could be a bad thing amongst us. It could be a foreign threat. It could be things that threaten. It could be anything. It's not to be taken literally, is
But
it?
the real legend of George was that he was a figure who stood up for Christianity.
Doesn't
Have you ever
get-
done anything brave?
There was a kid at school who used to have epileptic fits a lot, and the teacher used to always say, if it happens, grab his tongue. And I sort of had a go at that once. His tongue.
His tongue.
Yeah.
What do you have a tongue for? To pick stuff up? What do you mean a tongue?
His tongue in his mouth.
Oh, his tongue.
Oh, his tongue. Right, go on.
And they used to say, if he starts doing it, grab his tongue and that. And I sort of had a go at that once, and it wasn't nice.
Well, how did you grab it? You grabbed his tongue, did you?
Well, I tried to. It's like grabbing a slug. And plus his mouth's going up and down. Like you think he's going to have me handy. So you sort of do that thing where you go.
So you were trying to grab hold of a kid's tongue, yeah? And he's
Throwing himself all over the place. It was in a physics lesson. I sort of had a go, and then I thought, this isn't happening. So I just sort of kept putting my hand in, like I'm having a go. But in the head, I was going, I'm not going to get hold of it.
What you could have used is a pair of tongs.
Well, firstly, I don't see why this is brave. kids having an epileptic fit and you're just supposed to help them out. I don't know why that's bravery, but even given that, the fact that you were thinking more about yourself in that situation than this other kid. You were thinking, I'll make it look like I'm helping, but I'm not really. And yet this is kid having an epileptic fit.
I did at the beginning.
Doesn't
I
that
tried.
sum you up, Carl? Selfish.
No, it doesn't. Because no one else was having a go. At least I did try and grab it at one point.
You weren't doing anything. You were just making it look like you were.
Have you ever tried to grab a tongue? It's like chasing a chicken. It's murder. And after a while, it wears you out. And it was weird anyway, because it was like...
What was he doing it for?
I don't know.
Wearing him out after hours of chasing this kid's tongue.
I love the idea. Have you ever tried grabbing a tongue? It's a valid question.
I love that he's annoyed. He's annoyed that this
What
kid's having
was your
a fit.
technique? Were you trying to grab it
Just with your thumb and your finger, like a pincher thing.
Yeah.
But it was because his mouth's going down and.
Was he shouting or just?
No, just throwing himself around.
So that's your one attempt at bravery.
Well, hang on a minute. Let me just think.
Trying to grab a tongue.
There was a time you were chased by a bee and you scored a goal.
What about that?
That isn't really bravery, is it? As you were running away from a bee, and the ball happened to hit your foot and go in. That counted as bravery. I love it when he goes up to the pearly gates and goes, "Well, have you done the act of courage?" I pretended to grab a tongue. A what? A tongue. A tongue. Yeah. Got chased by a bee, scored a goal. It doesn't count as brave at all.
You can't escape.
But the thing about law and order is, you don't have to take it. You can combat being wronged. It's not just punishment or retribution. It's justice. You want to know that you're valued.
This is a big issue, isn't it, Rick? Is one life more important than another? If you've transgressed in a terrible way, you've murdered or raped, whatever, and so I'm going to put you to death.
Well, this is an interesting argument, isn't it? Whether capital punishment. I don't agree with execution.
Carl, where do you stand on the tricky issue of capital punishment? You've given it some serious thought, I imagine.
So what, you're asking me, like, should he be on death row?
Well, should someone flip the switch? Send him to his death in the electric chair?
Yeah.
That was the least considered.
Yeah.
I mean, I saw a little bit of flicker behind the eyes. I don't know what. Well, just take us through the mental process that you arrived at the yes with there. So I remember that because there was quite a brief gap there.
I just was thinking, it's not a nice job if you work in there and you've got to flick the switch.
Right.
But I was wondering if it's possible to just do it so it's linked up to someone's switch.
What do you mean?
When they put the lights on something. So it's like sometime tonight when the sun goes down and people start putting the lights on in their house, it could happen. But we don't know what household. They might be away on holiday, so you might get an extra 2 weeks. But at least that way, because for me...
my point is, you do agree that someone should be put to death for a terrible crime, do you?
You've got to have something there to stop them people who don't care, haven't you? Nature's done it in a way with bees. They've gone, we'll give you a weapon, but if you use it, you die. And that's like the bee. Well, so they're worried they're going to go, I'm not going to do it.
We do, won't we? We have people saying, one, you can't do that. That's step one. Here's the law. Don't do it.
But there's a lot of people who go, I'm not bothered about the law. I'm not bothered about annoying people.
Yeah, that's true.
So for them, at the end of the scale, you've got the chair, and you stick the wires on their head, and we'll fry your head. And they go, oh, God, I don't want that.
I think a lot of those crimes, the deterrent isn't relevant. Things like armed robbery, maybe, where it's a risk. What can I get versus what my crime? Maybe then it might be a deterrent. But then, of course, if you start to get a capital punishment for crimes that aren't murdering someone, then that thing brings in you might as well murder them, because then you've got more chance of getting away with it. So it's very delicate what you make people be killed for.
You've made an interesting and reasoned argument there, Rick. I'm looking forward to hearing the riposte.
Right. When I was younger, I used to nick Mars bars.
Okay.
Right. Now, I did that then, and I knew that even if I get caught, what's the worst that's going to happen?
Yeah.
I'm not going to go to prison over that. But it was worth nicking because a Mars bar, they were like 45 pence.
Sure.
A Mars bar was a proper treat. There's a lot going on in there. A lot of chocolate, a lot of caramel.
Yeah.
Like, I say, 45 pence.
Yeah.
So To
So
me,
that was like an advert that went wrong just at the end. They started off good. They go, this bar's good. You go there. Mars bar's a lot in it. It's like, oh, good, keep going. Yeah, it's got caramels. Like, yeah. But it's 45 pence, which is too fucking much. So fucking nick it, you cunt.
But when I was younger, that was worth a risk because I knew that I'd be getting something worth 45 pence for free.
You weren't going to get the electric
and I
chair.
wasn't going to get done. So the stakes were high, the risk were low.
You mean the stakes were high, the risks were low?
I think he's just trying to sound cool.
The stakes weren't high. The stakes are what can happen to you, and the risk. The stakes and the risk are the same. The risk is the stake, okay? Yeah, unless you're nicking meat from a butcher's, then the stakes are high and the risk is low. I don't know what the fuck you're talking about, but what you meant was
It was
the
worth a
gain was
risk.
high.
The gain was high.
Yeah,
The game was high.
yeah, the risk was low.
Yeah.
But no, it wasn't, was it? Because 45p isn't a lot unless you're
It
a
is
kid.
when you're a kid. Most of the time, I didn't want to say which shop it was that I nicked it from, but it's where I did my paper round. Now, the thing is...
So it's nicking from your own boss.
But listen, I used to wake him up.
That
I helped
is
him
terrible.
run. No, because I...
That is terrible.
This is awful.
That
Go
is-
on, hang on. I
that
want to
is
hear.
really
I want to hear him
bad.
rationalise his
Because that
terrible
sweet
crime.
old man who used to give...
He's not an old man. I used to go around and
Sweet
wake him
old
up,
man.
right? He hated running that place.
Right.
If anything, I'd say I was his best asset.
Well, not really.
Yeah.
Because I don't
You
know
were
what...
nicking from him. You were
Yeah,
thieving from him.
I don't
doing
know
that
how much he
business.
made on papers, but he'd probably go 45p profit. Hold on.
They got their papers really early because I got up early.
Yeah.
I used to go round to the
Well, you know,
shop at
Mars a
4:30.
day helps you work, rest, and steal.
So I used to go round there, wake him up. He'd be like, "What are you doing round here so early?"
Don't know. I'm just hungry. What? I'm just hungry for work.
No.
Oh well, good boy. Pip. I'm just going to turn away a minute.
Yeah.
While you stand there in front of the confectionery. I'll turn away now, and I've looked back now, and here's the papers. And thanks so much, Carl, because you're a lovely
He's like
kid.
an honourable and trustworthy
Yeah, I can't
guy.
really afford to.
I've been betrayed so many times. That's why
Yeah.
my lovely wife's no longer with me. You know, she ran off with Ken.
Yeah, but I mean, at least I've got a friend.
At least you've got one young
You turn
friend.
up early. Oh God, it's brilliant. Oh, and Carl, keep a lookout because
Someone's been nicking Mars bars.
Yeah, I know it's not you because I trust you implicitly. And by the way, Carl, why don't you take a Mars bar for free? Oh, thanks.
Well, that never happened.
All right.
So I'm getting 50 pence a day for delivering papers, but I needed the energy.
Right.
Now, if I spent my 50p on a Mars bar,
Yeah.
5p profit a day, it's not worth it.
No.
So help yourself. I knew I was doing a good job for him.
No.
There we go. Help yourself.
No. So help yourself. That doesn't follow. So help yourself. Get another job. Leave that job. Negotiate a pay rise. Not help myself. That doesn't go. That's ridiculous. Where does it stop? If you worked in a nuclear power plant, well, they're not paying me much. Have a little bit of uranium.
A lovely little bit of uranium.
Yeah. I do.
That's a strange analogy, Rick. Sort of left straight from a bloke nicking stuff from work. So he works in a power plant, he's having himself a bit of uranium. What's he doing with the uranium?
Well, you know, Mars a day and all that, and that's for energy, and so's uranium. But more energy than a Mars bar. Yeah. A lot of the laws of the land are from the Bible. I mean, that kicked it off. I mean, there was laws before, obviously, and there were different gods before this one was invented. But let's have a look at the 10 Commandments.
Oh, yeah,
I think
sure.
I'm just going to go down these, see which ones I commit. Thou shalt have no other god. I don't have any god, so I haven't broken that one. 2, craven images. No, I don't have any craven. No, I don't accept there's a god. 3, thou shalt not take the name of the Lord. Again, I don't take his name in vain because I don't believe he exists, so I'm fine there. Remember the Sabbath. I always remember Sunday. I know I've got a calendar and everything, so I haven't done that one. Honour thy father. Yeah, I do that. Never commit adultery. Don't do that.
Ever killed anyone?
No, never killed anyone. Don't steal. I don't lie, and I don't covet. So I am an amazing Christian.
Pretty clean. Yeah, you're a pretty clean living guy.
Wow. There you go.
Well, whereas, I don't know, Carl, have you ever... What's your view?
I still open like posts that isn't for me.
Why do you open other people's mail?
But it's just a fella called Bruce who he's the bloke who used to own the flat before me, and I don't know. I started off and I thought, oh, should I pass it on? You know, because when people move, it's a lot of messing about tracking down where they've gone. So I thought, should I just leave them for a bit? And I collected some for a bit. And then there was one that sort of said, this is important on the front of it. So I thought, how important is it? So I opened it.
What was it? Was it important?
Not really. It was from a tattooist.
What did they say?
It was just something
They
about...
said, "Oh, we used the AIDS needle on you. Can you come in for a little test?"
So I just started. I just kind of thought, oh, I'll start opening it, having a look, and it was weird because, do you know like how you get fed up of being yourself?
No, but go on.
Well, you
I'm
can
intrigued.
Of course.
No, you can just have days where you're like,
I
what
wish
is
I was
going
Brad
on?
Pitt, yeah.
Well, you know, and
Bruce Willis in your case,
well,
isn't it?
well, this bloke was Bruce, so I just go, oh, let's see what, you know, if I was Bruce,
Yeah.
would I be happier being him? Do you know, like how I've said to you before, you never know if you don't feel well because they can't put you in someone else's body to sort of compare. So I think, well, would I enjoy being Bruce more?
Sure. And what have you gleaned from Bruce? He's got a tattoo. We know that.
There wasn't that much. It was mainly busy at Christmas. A lot of Christmas cards, which were good because I didn't get that many.
Yeah.
So you put up his
pop 'em
Christmas, you put up his Christmas cards.
What, you had Christmas cards hanging in your flat to have a lovely Christmas, Bruce? Auntie Jean. That's crazy.
Well, hang on a minute, because when you put them on your mantelpiece or your shelf or whatever, you're not looking at them every day. It's just a picture of Father Christmas. It doesn't matter who it's to or from.
But why have them up at all?
Well, why not just buy some
make it a
blank...
bit Christmassy.
You can just buy some blank cards and put them up.
Use them every
There's no
year.
point. I have to. Bruce has got a lot of friends.
Yeah,
It was more awkward, right? Because the bloke downstairs, because I used to always collect the stuff for Bruce, I got talking to a bloke who's in the same block, and like he used to see me picking stuff up for Bruce. He'd always say, you know, all right, Bruce.
No.
You've never told him that you're not Bruce?
No point.
I have a fascinating tale to tell you, Carl. I think you'll be intrigued. When I do junkets for films in America, I was assigned a security, and I've had security before. I often have security. They just sort of get you in and out of the car, and usually just to control sort of autograph hunters and things. But this time I was given a security, and he came in a suit. He looks about 30. He looked quite unassuming. I thought he was from just a security firm. It turned out that he was actually LAPD, who was doing this for celebrities because he earned more money. And then I found out he had a gun. He said, I can't come in the airport with you, I can't take my gun. So he's armed. So I've got a security who's LAPD who's armed, and I'm fascinated. Now I'm fascinated. This man is walking around with me with a little earpiece, talking to everyone. He seems to know everyone, and he's got a gun. Then one night, he said, he dropped me off at the hotel, and he said, I've actually been called, I've got to go on a mission. They need my help. I said, really, what is it? He said, it's a hostage situation. He said, and I'm also SWAT. And I was thinking, oh God, it's just a silent hero. So the next day, I said, how was it? He said, I was fine. He said, I just turned up. He said, I had to do it in my suit. He said, because I'm the negotiator.
What?
So I went, oh my God. And I just asked him questions for 2 hours. What do you think of that, Carl, as a job? It's amazing, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, once you've done one, though, it's like any job, isn't it, I suppose?
Yeah.
Once you've done one.
Yeah,
Not impressed?
Boring, yeah.
No, it's good.
Could you do it? Do you reckon you could do it? Do you reckon you could negotiate someone out of a hostage situation?
Well, I
With your
think in one of
dulcet
them
tones?
things, there's nothing you can do. It's like, it doesn't matter if it goes wrong, because
Well, it
you
does.
did your bit. No, it's like being a vet, isn't it?
Not really. Not really, because well, that's what
No, it is. What I mean is, you're expected to make the little kitten live.
No, there's loads of it. Because I was saying, so he says, I need a car by 5 o'clock, or I'm going to kill someone. He then makes sure that he doesn't kill anyone, but he makes sure that car doesn't come till 5:15.
But he's not bothered, is he? If
He
it's
is
15
bothered.
minutes late.
He is, because he really takes a he empathises with these guys, and he says, no, you've got to understand.
No,
He
but the
says,
fella in the house with the gun,
yeah.
he's not going anywhere. 15 minutes either side doesn't matter. Why is he in a rush?
I don't think Carl's getting how
Not sure he
important,
is.
how
No,
amazing
not
he
sure
is.
You said
Yeah.
they make the car 15 minutes late.
Yeah.
He's getting his car. That
Yeah,
bloke's not in a rush.
He's never going to get in the car, is he? and he has to get in their head. But to do that, he says that he has to empathise with them to a certain extent. He has to understand why they're doing it, to talk to them and go,
Yeah, you've had a bad day. That would send anyone.
but he has to get their trust. Carl, try and talk me out. You think it's that easy? Right, I've got a hostage situation, right? They go, there's only one person we can ask for. Get me Carl Pilkington. The police know that you're their top man, and there's a guy in here, he's got a gun, he's got a hostage, okay? He's just done a crime. They don't know what to do, okay? Right. You turn up. What's your first question to them?
I'm talking to you.
Well, no, you got to assess...
Right, I'd say, right. I think there's a saying, actually. You say, where's brass? Right?
Right.
I found that out. I heard that. I overheard that.
What's that?
It was something...
You're wasting time. Who's that bull cunt that's just turned up? I'm gonna fucking kill him.
Right, where's brass?
What does it mean?
I heard it at school when they...
I don't know what the fuck you're talking about.
Can't just you.
It means, I heard someone use it on the...
Well, I don't know what the fuck it means.
It
All I
means
know-
the top person
Right.
of the police who are around at the moment.
Yeah, well, in short, I'm the fucking top brass here. I've got a fucking gun against this kid's head. Who the fuck are you, bald little shithead? Where's my car?
What car?
I've asked for a car. Where's my fucking car? Am I talking to you now, am I?
Yes, you are.
Are you the negotiator?
Yeah.
Right. Get me a fucking car.
Where do you want to go?
Oh, I'm fucking sore from showing. Throw a phone through the window so I can talk to you over the phone.
No. All right, in a minute.
Don't ever fucking say no to me.
In a minute, I said.
Okay. Right, the clock's going. Where's this fucking
Right,
phone?
listen,
I've got a
just
sore
hang on a
throat.
minute.
Why are you putting the phone through, you dopey cunt? You want to talk to him?
Because I don't want to give you a phone straight away. You said you've got to delay him.
No, you've got to talk to them. You shouldn't even demand a phone. You should make sure you've got a phone, you dopey twat.
Give him a phone.
Right, thanks. All right, how's it going? That's better.
Right.
Right. Who are you, by the way? Who are you? Bruce.
I can't give you them details.
Well, you can, because I've got to trust you, dopey sod. Are you police, or just some fucking cunt walking by?
I'm a policeman.
Right, I don't trust policemen.
No, but I'm a bit higher than that. So listen.
Oh, don't you tell me I'm laying down the law here. I'm going to shoot someone unless I get a fast car. I've done a robbery. It's all gone wrong. You're after now, but I want a car to the airport. I want a plane standing by.
You don't know me, but I do this a lot. Right? And I can tell you that it never works out right. Do you know anyone who's done what you're doing and is now living a happy life?
Well, I don't care. I don't care about living anyway. I don't care about living out. I don't care if this goes wrong, because I'm going to shoot the hostage.
What's your problem?
I'm just...
So you've got the wrong attitude, mate. I think you've got the wrong attitude here.
No, but this is... to be honest with you, this was my last week.
Why are you sending him that?
Because I want to bring him down to my level.
Right. What's that got to do with it?
Well, you know, I've done this job for a long time.
Right.
And sometimes I felt like you. I've
Right.
been, you know, even though I'm on this side, you know, sometimes I feel like, oh, I've had enough of this.
Right, well, I haven't enough. But I'll tell you, I don't care about living or dying here. So if I don't get a car to the airport, all bets are off. I'm killing everyone and then myself. So you'll be a big loser. Now you've got to get him to stand near a window. You've got to take him out, because I've got a gun to someone's head. You can't burst in, right? You've got what? Come on, how do you get him to stand near a window?
Oh, I bet you're hot in there.
Keep going.
I am hot. Yeah, that's why I've just drawn the curtains and keep away from the window, because the sun's blazing in. It's not too bad away from the window.
It's, the sun's gone round the back now. Just come and have a look. It's a lovely evening.
Why do you want me to stand near a window?
I think just because when you see how nice an evening it is...
Worst load of dribble ever.
When you see how... Keep going, I'm interested. When you see how lovely...
No, it's that thing. I've heard that if you smile, you feel better. So have a little smile. Think of a happy moment in your life.
I'll tell you what a happy moment in my life would be. Putting a bullet through your little round head, you cunt.
Keep thinking about that image.
Right.
And you can see that round head. Just come to the window, I'll show you the round head.
That would probably work, actually.
What? No, I'm not going to come near the window. You come near the window. You come near my window. Let me come. Are you coming near the window?
No, not yet.
What?
Delaying it again. Right, I'm coming near the window.
Well, I'm going to shoot you if you come near the window, you dopey prat.
Why? I thought we were getting somewhere here.
No, I'm going to shoot you. I've conned you. I've negotiated you to come near the window, and I'm going to shoot you in the head, you prat.
I'll just leave then.